What is going on YouTube now? We've got a different type of live stream today. We are doing our first ever watch along, and I think most of us on here, this is the first time we've actually ever done a watch along. So this should be an interesting one. We do have the lineups out, and we've been discussing this off the stream, and yeah, can we just say it's some questionable decisions? But we'll get into that. Obviously, I'm going to throw the lineup up here. We've got Leno in net, which is obvious. Bellerin, which is the questionable ones. We've got Luis Gabriel, which tends to be his partnership of choice. And then we've got Kieran Tierney, which obviously he's our only left back. We've got Partey Xhaka, which we're coming to get used to now. We've got Bukayo Saka. We've got Willian down on the flanks, with the number 10 being Odegaard. And we've got Aubameyang down the middle, people. Now, what are people's thoughts on this lineup? And I'll throw this to Anthony first, because I know he's got a bit of a rant that he wants to get off his chest.
So first of all, look, it's good to be here for the watch along, for the first watch along, and big up Matt as well. Like I was saying off air just before we started, I think roles are reversing here a little bit. So you're usually on my channel, and you're bringing the rant. But look, I've sort of learned too many times as an Arsenal fan. I've spoke out maybe ahead of turn about the lineups and that, and I've seen certain things that I haven't agreed with, and I've been left feeling a bit silly afterwards. You know, we've gone out and got the result and left a bit of egg on my face. Now, I've had times where I've been confident and I said, yeah, we should have enough about us to get a result, and then again I've been left looking a bit silly. So I try as best I can nowadays to reserve judgment until we kick a ball, you know. And look, there's still 90 minutes to play regardless of who's playing and that. But I'm seeing the same thing, you know, kind of week in, week out with the lineups, and you know, the same criticisms. And like I said, look, some people are acting like we've lost the game before we've even kicked the ball, you know, based on certain players playing. And I see Willian, for example, is kind of the main one, and I understand. Look, Willian hasn't exactly set the world alight since he signed for us, and you know, we all fancy Pepe ahead of Willian. But look, it is what it is. Willian got the nod. I understand why he got the nod. I said it last night on the preview show that I was expecting we're gonna go over there tonight. You know, it's an away fixture. I don't expect Arteta to go, you know, balls to the wall and go for it. I think he's gonna try keep it, you know. The phrase he uses, fine margins. He wants to keep it tight. Whatever your feelings on Willian, I think Arteta's feelings are that Willian is going to probably give up a little bit less space positionally than Pepe. Doesn't do an awful lot of defensive work, but I still think he might do a little bit more than what Willian offers. Or Pepe. And look, in fairness to Willian, you know, a couple of assists in his last few games, you know, and he was getting praised only a week or so ago, and now he's getting slated tonight. I think people need to just take a step back and just chill and just wait and see how the game goes. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like some people are searching for negativity just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day, I think no matter who we have in that lineup, if we show up on our day, we are capable of winning this game. So no, hopefully they prove me right tonight. Hopefully they show up with the right attitude. Look, I'm happy with the lineup. As I said, there's a couple of little tweaks. If I had my way, I would probably make, but I'm not gonna give out about the lineup. I'm gonna reserve judgment, you know, until the lads have had a fair chance to actually get playing and kick the ball, you know. So I'm trying to look at it positively. So yeah, look, I'm still confident.
Evening, boys.
Evening.
Hello. How's it going, lads?
All good. Yeah, on Sophie's question, yeah, I think other than Anthony, we're all feeling good. I think he's on a bit of a rant today.
I am feeling good. Like I said, I'm feeling good. I'm looking at the lineup, and the reason why I'm getting a bit frustrated is because I'm feeling positive. I'm looking at it from, you know, like I'm trying to look at it from a positive perspective, and I'm seeing all this negativity. I know, like, our guys here, we're going to be level-headed and that, but it's frustrating me now. You know, it's the same week in, week out. You know, before we've even had a chance to step out on the pitch, some people are already saying, oh, well, Arteta made the wrong call, and, you know, this is why it's not going to work tonight. And look, maybe it won't work. But like I said, I'd rather just wait until we actually play the game, and then we'll analyze what happened afterwards, and then we'll know whether he made the right call or not. But yeah, look, there's just too much. I think people are they're picking at things just purely for the sake of it. Like, we understand a lot of people don't like Arteta. We understand a lot of people don't want him there. We understand a lot of people don't want Willian. But come on, like, you know, we're really clutching our straws week in, week out with some of this stuff.
The thing is, people treat it as if it's rocket science. It's not. You've got a squad of 25 players that play games every 3 days. You can't play the same 11 players, regardless of whether those players you feel are good enough. It's irrelevant. At the moment, that's the only squad that Arteta's got to work with. These players are going to play, regardless of whether you want them to or not. So, like you said, just get behind them, wait until the game's finished, and then if there's any questions, then ask them. But at least let the boys go out and try and perform before you start criticising them. It's ridiculous.
Do you know what? You're so right about, you know, reserving judgment before a game, because you talk about like the Leicester game, for example. I picked holes in that lineup, left, right, and centre, and yet look at how we won that game. Yeah. You know, I moaned about Willian being in there. I moaned about Xhaka and El Neni being a partnership, and then we go and win that game. And I just think, like I kind of learn now to reserve judgment and let them play first before you start picking holes, because they've actually surprised us on a number of occasions. And actually, Willian's played quite well. So I know he's been the centre of it, hasn't he? A lot of the criticism, I'll play Pepe instead. But he's actually done well the last few games. Give the guy a chance, you know.
It just gives people something to complain about, doesn't it? When you see someone like Willian in the lineup or Xhaka, it doesn't make any difference. People they complain because it gives them something to talk about. Seems as if people haven't got anything else interesting to say, really. But I've actually that Burnley goal that we conceded. That's actually the first time I've just seen it. I hadn't seen it up until then, and I wish I hadn't seen it.
Do you know what, Dawsey? Do you know what the problem is, right? And it's frustrating, actually, being one of those fans right now that are nitpicking a little bit. But I think I'm getting to a stage now in the season where every little thing is becoming to irritate me because of the amount of, I wouldn't necessarily say excuses, but do you know, I think, like I said, the Burnley game, for me, it dawned on me at the end of that result how many problems there are in this squad of players, and how much work needs to be done in order for this team to realistically be a top 4 side and to be challenging for trophies like the Europa League. So I understand where people's frustrations are when, you know, players like Xhaka and Luiz are mentioned. I mean, it's a little bit, you know, as you say, nitpicking, clutching at straws, etc., etc. But I think tonight's some of the decisions that Arteta has picked warrants a discussion, especially with Willian. I mean, that irritated me more than it should have, because Willian's a decent player. He's been having really good performances of late. But what's really irritating me is that you've got a player on the bench in Pepe who's come on in the last 2 games, has made direct impact in goal scoring opportunities. The games that he has started, especially in the Europa League, he's looked most dangerous. He's created opportunities where we've scored from, and he scored goals himself. I just don't understand what more a player like him needs to do in order to push himself into the first team. And I worry a lot for him specifically because of the hot run of form that he's on now and how long we've waited to see this Pepe. So if this version of Pepe that we haven't seen is being sacrificed for a 33-year-old Willian, who granted has had a good few performances of late, it worries me because I might see that with that Pepe dip in form, and then fans be having the discussion of where's Pepe got to, how comes we're not getting the best out of him. So that's the only decision really that is a little bit weighing on my mind. And I think what's more important to talk about that decision is because of the way Arsenal play and because of the way that we attack down the flanks. That's the way we get the best out of our attacking players. So if you've got someone like Willian on one side, Saka on another side, they're good on paper. But the question is, are they consistent enough to perform week in, week out and duplicate the result that they got against Leicester? Because for me, the team that played against Burnley should have got 3 points. No doubt in my mind. The performance that they put in showed that they're clearly not at the level that they should be to be competing against teams like Burnley. And so I'm a bit nervy tonight. I shouldn't be. I said it this morning when I woke up. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling optimistic, but I'm feeling really nervous and anxious at the same time. And that's because you never know what type of Arsenal you're going to expect.
100%, yeah.
That's the right one.
I think the problem is he's not prioritising anything. He's not prioritising trying to get top six, and he's not prioritising trying to win the Europa League. And I am still behind Arteta, but I do think that it's not helping us, and it's not helping him either by trying to use the same core of kind of 14 players. I kind of wish he'd just go for one.
What do you play for? Do you play for the Premier League, or because you can't? You're sitting 10th right now. You can't get top six. You can't get into the Europa League via the Premier League. It's going to be very difficult. You've got 11 games, 33 points maximum you can get out of. And realistically, if I'm looking at the way that Arsenal have been playing this season, they'll probably get 25 points out of this 33. Possibly, and that's wishful thinking. Europa League is very difficult this year with the number of teams that are playing. United are just scraping through a victory against AC Milan. AC Milan should have been comfortably 2-0 up in the first half, and Villarreal are 2-0 winners against their opposition. So the way I see it is that the squad is really thin right now, and it's thin because we don't have the depth in order to compete in the Premier League and the Europa League. The summer's going to be important, no doubt in my mind. And Arteta keeps saying it. It's going to be one of those summers where we're going to see a lot of change. It's going to be unprecedented. It's going to be very similar to the January window. And I mean, by God, do we need it? We actually need one of those windows that transforms this whole squad. Because I don't know about you boys, but looking at that team on paper right now, everything out of not considering anything else, how we've played this season, just focusing on the qualities of those players and how they gel as a team, I don't see a winning side here who's capable of winning the Premier League. And you're talking to one of the most optimistic Arsenal fans. But I've just gotten to a stage now where, I've seen enough. I've seen enough to know that there's no consistency enough to see a winning side.
I think it's more of an element of a mental side of the football. I don't think. Yeah. I think you can get like one or two performances where they're mentally so high and they'll give it their 110% mentally and physically. But then there'll come a game like a Burnley, for example, where we've seen what they did against Leicester, and we're like, you know what? Mentally, it's looking like we're getting to the position we need to be at, and then Burnley happens. We go from the highest of the highs to the lowest of the lows because this team doesn't push itself mentally. And it seems like they've got this sort of limit that they can only do one or two games where they give it everything and then it has to stop.
Yeah, I think the team could be competitive. I think, like I say, a bit of mentality and cutting out the stupid mistakes, which I think could be done. I think we're not going to, I don't think with this squad of players as it is, we'd be able to win anything. But I think we'd be able to get close to being competitive.
I think we need to be very lucky in the draw. Yeah, if we make it for the draw needs to be very, very nice to us. Because you draw someone like Villarreal, or you draw someone like even a United or a Spurs, we can beat them on our day, absolutely. But the question is this group of players, are they capable enough? Can you trust them? That's the question. Are they trustworthy? I don't think I can trust this group of players with the type of errors, because taking away the errors, taking away the red cards comfortably, and I say this with so much confidence, we could be sitting fifth right now.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think we've seen a run of games this season, have we, really? I mean, shortly after Christmas, but apart from that, we haven't seen us really get into a stride of getting a good set of results together, have we? It's been very stuttery this season. So, like I say, when you're looking at a competition like this where, you need to win every game, obviously, to win the competition, it's a big ask. It's a big ask.
You know what the funny thing about this season is, right? And this is kind of something I put to a couple of guys earlier, where, look, the kindest way possible, like they are very, very much Arteta out. And to the point where no matter what you say, and like Arteta could probably win the league and they still be Arteta out. They're that adamant he's not the man. But like they're saying, this season, and again, kind of touching on with the whole lineup situation, and don't really judge until the first ball has been kicked, at least, and look, the season isn't finished yet. It isn't. But for a lot of people in their mind, the season is already done. It was done before Christmas time, irrespective of the fact that we can actually finish in whatever position. But I said to them, AC Milan just equalised. Sorry, lads.
Oh, did they?
Nice one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not up on my screen yet. I think it's just updated.
Sorry, I have
No, I
a
was
I got Man
I was
United
just,
fans. I have a
was just
United
sorting
fan sitting on the
something
couch here right now. So
How did? Well, can I just ask? How did Henderson save that? It was literally right. The
I'm
wife's
happy
kicking
doing
off,
it.
is it? Is it the partner kicking off? Oh yeah, she's a United fan. I forgot. I absolutely forgot. Yeah.
Say hi. Now, but what I was going to say was, like a lot of people have written it off, and I put it to them, like they're saying, look, okay, statistically, we're looking at, and we're trying to find the positives. We're trying to find the positives, and look, maybe we're the fools. Maybe we are the fools trying to find the positive in that, but we're looking at statistically and that, and we're looking at what Arteta is doing right, and the things that the team are doing right in terms of their playing style and whatever else. But I sort of said to them, like, they said, look, we're made no progression. But the funny thing is, we can still win this competition and get Champions League qualification. And I said to them, like, you know what, if we win the Europa League, whether or not I believe we can do it is another story altogether. But I said, if we win the Europa League and get Champions League qualification, like, is that not progression? But that's kind of, I'm curious to know, like, kind of all your feeling on it, because I know the league table is what it is. I just think this season, it's too hard to really judge, because people keep saying, look at David Moyes and West Ham, but then, like, look at Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, and there's no fans. I know they've injured. I just think I just think the league table doesn't really tell the proper story. But look, if we get Champions League qualification, whether we do it through Europa League, like, is that not progression?
Well, this is it. Look, Juventus have been knocked out of the Champions League. Barcelona have been knocked out of the Champions League. I think the worst thing that could have happened to Arteta was winning that FA Cup, because the expectation levels have hit sky high. All of a sudden, everyone expects Arteta to be Arteta to be Pep Guardiola over one season. You forget this guy is his first ever job. What did you expect? If you ask me, I expected this. I expected nothing less but for Arsenal to go through a rocky start and then for Arteta to learn on the job. There's no doubt he's an intelligent man. There's no doubt he's an intelligent coach. He knows what to do. He just needs the right equipment. And I'll go on this whole rant on the board, etc., etc. I'm not going to bother doing that. But ultimately, when it comes down to the coaching and the players, look, he knows what he's doing. We can see that clearly. The football is working. The football looks better on the pitch. You don't need to look at the league table to find all the metrics that go against Arteta. If you watch a game of football and you got two eyes and you're a football fan, then and rival fans are telling us as well, Arteta, stick with Arteta. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. We're even having United fans telling us that, and adamant United fans that want Solskjaer out. So clearly he must be doing something right.
Question for you guys, right?
My problem is, right, is that the things that have gone wrong this season, I don't understand how a manager is going to change that, because it's individual errors. Even if you look at the Xhaka situation, for example, like the mistakes he's made, that mistake against Burnley, I don't understand what a Carlo Ancelotti would do differently to not let that happen, because that's a mistake that no coach can coach out of a player. It's an on the moment thought. It's an on the moment decision that Xhaka has made, and it was the wrong decision. That's part of him. That's not something which decision making and footballing IQ is one thing that you can't coach. It's something you either have or you don't have. So that's why I do question people when they say that, changing the manager will change everything, or changing the manager is the easiest thing to do. But guess what? The easiest thing to do isn't always the right thing to do. So that's why I have to question it.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. And you can't coach what's happened. I can't remember a game this season really that we've been torn apart in terms of having teams open us up again and again and again. Not even in the City game or the Liverpool game earlier on in the season when they beat us. Even then, we weren't getting torn apart. That, for me, is enough to justify looking at some of the tactics that Arteta's putting in place. He's making us harder to beat. But the problem is we're beating ourselves most of the time by making these stupid mistakes. But a quick question for you guys, right? Because I've been toying with this for the last couple of weeks. And if we win the Europa League, and for me it's a big if. I think it's going to take a lot of luck for us to win it. I want to ask you honestly, what is the point of us being in the Champions League other than financially? Right? What's the point? What's the point in being in a competition that you can't compete in? And we've experienced that towards the end of the last few seasons that we were in it. The amount of times we were getting humped by Bayern or Barcelona or wherever it was. For me, outside of it, financially, what it brings, I don't see the point in being in it. We're not gonna. Even if we win the Europa League this season, come the start of next season, we're not going to have a squad that's going to compete in that competition. Well, it's not going to change that drastically. And even if
we're not ready for
not.
Champions League, Dawesy. We're not ready for it. Look, we're barely ready for Europa League. So okay, we all want to go back to the Champions League, but it's all well and good. Like, if you had owners that were equipped to set us up for Champions League, that'd be one thing. Like,
yeah, that's different. Yeah,
if you knew by qualifying, you sort of said, right, well, these owners are gonna make the right investments so that we don't go in there and get embarrassed. But look, we're gonna go out there again, and it's funny that you brought that up, because I'd only just spoken to a guy earlier he's a Man United fan and was talking about how he hates this whole Europa League. He said it was great, 2 seasons ago or whatever, they'd won it and they said, oh, it looked great, it's a European trophy, it's something to add to the collection. Now we've done it and it's time to get out and get back into the Champions League. From their perspective, you can understand, because they'll take it serious. You know, if they get their Champions League qualification, they will try, they'll make the right investments. With Arsenal, we qualify for the Champions League, our board are going to turn around and go, well, that squad was capable of qualifying, so you're fine. You don't need any investment, and I'm the same as you, Dawesy. I'm the exact same as you. Like, whatever, think what you may about Europa League, and I know the finances are in the Champions League, and that's where you want to be ultimately, but I don't want to be there and get embarrassed and not make it out of group stage and be hammered by Bayern Munich and that. Like, I'd rather be in this competition we're in and actually stand a chance of winning, And look, I probably sound silly for me to say that, but I would rather be competitive in whatever we've entered rather than go in and be the whipping boys, and just for the sake of being in it. Mate,
we've had enough. We've had enough years of seeing us get through to the quarterfinals or just get past the group stages and then get hammered. I've had enough of that. I've seen the team get to a Champions League final, and obviously that is the goal. That's what we want to get to again, and we want to go one step further and win it. But I just don't see the point. All I can see coming out of that is more negativity around the club, getting humped, still not competing in the competition that we're all desperate to be back into it. But there's absolutely no point unless you can stand up. And whoever you get drawn against, unless you can give them a game, it's pointless. How can you enjoy that as a fan? Ultimately, as a fan, all I want to do is see my team play well, compete, and win football games. So I don't care what competition it is. Obviously, I want to get to that point where we can compete in the Champions League. But right now, we're not, like you said, Anthony, we're not ready for it. So
it's catch-22, isn't it? Because if you don't try and win these competitions and then go and play in the Champions League, you're right. It is about owners who want to reinvest that cash, because, like you say, there's no point in winning a competition, getting a shed load of cash, and then not spending it, and then ended up going into a competition and getting spanked every week, or by these teams. So I think we absolutely want to be back in the Champions League and be competing with the best. But like you say, it's down to whether the owners then actually reinvest that cash to actually go and spend on those players that are going to make us competitive again. But we're only going to be able to spend that money, I think, if we actually do qualify. So it's a bit of a catch-22, because they're not going to spend the money unless it's handed to them through qualification, is it? Because they're not going to go and dig that into their own pocket.
Because the problem is as well, right now, if we were to get into the Champions League via the Europa League next season, for me, unless things change drastically, it would be a one-off. We won't be in it again next year, the following season, because we'd either have to win it, which isn't going to happen, or we'd have to have a tenfold improvement in the league and get top 4. And realistically, are we looking that we can do either of those? And like I say, unless there's I'm looking at I'm looking at 5-6 players coming in to make a real difference, and you're hoping that they hit the ground running as well, because that's a huge uprest in the whole squad, trying to get half a team then trying to gel and play together, and then obviously you're not even counting the players that go out. So it's, for me, I think we just have to take it slow, and I think that's the problem. People don't want it to be slow because they're used to being in Champions League, they're used to being top four, but we're so far away from both of those things at the moment, being able to compete, that we just. And I'd love to win this competition because it's something we've not won, and it'd be brilliant. And financially, yes, it would help us. But outside of that, I don't see any other benefit really to us being in the Champions League.
I think the best, obviously, the thing that Kroenke needs to do is come out and tell us that, look, if we get Champions League or if we finish in a certain position, look, the club will fully, like the board will fully. But my problem is we've never done that. You know, the Kroenkes have never come out and, you know, fully invested or tried to invest to get this team back to where it needs to be. They've kind of gone for the cheaper options, the stupid options, and the options that might keep fans up. And this is why one thing that I do want to say, look, we went on an absolute frenzy to get Upamecano in. Now, from what I've seen, Upamecano has not been brilliant. Like, every time I've seen him, he's been very shaky, mistake prone, and we've been complaining, why didn't we get Upamecano? Why did we bring Gabriel in? Now, sometimes I do think the recruitment process is right, but there are certain aspects that I don't agree with. But I think what we need to do as a fan base as well sometimes is not give in to the media pressure. And let's say, for example, we're linked to a Neymar, for example, or something. Might not be the right fit. So let's not pressure the club to go get a player like that, because, you know, it doesn't always work out. And it's not about how much money we spend. It's about spending it right on the right players that fit that system that Arteta wants to play. And it's getting the board aligned with the manager. And I don't think that's happened yet, or I've not seen it happen yet.
No, I agree. It's just...
Here we are.
I was going to say, there's a partnership there, and they know what they're doing. The investment that they've made so far has obviously had some form of a good positive impact. But just touching on the Europa League, winning it, and then the implications of what possibly could. There's two options here. The board either see that as the perfect opportunity to invest and to make sure that dropping out of the top four never happens again, or they'll stick with those players and they'll use it as an excuse to say, you know what, you got the right boys here to win the Champions League. To compete in the Champions League. It's such
we all know what's going to happen. They've been there long enough. We've all seen it with our own eyes. There's absolutely no way that board is going to do anything different that they've done for the last 15 years. It's not going to happen. I just cannot see it happening. They just do not care, and that's the bottom line of it. They're not bothered. It's almost like they've just, right, we've got Edu, and we've got Binay, and we've got Mikel now. That's it now. You guys go on and get on with it and do what you need to do. And I don't see anything changing from a board level really for investment. It's just, I can't see it.
It's going to be a very interesting summer transfer window. Very interesting.
Yeah. So I just seeing everyone line up, I just thought Tierney looked like he was bricking it.
Yeah. No, but to be fair, do you know what? Olympiacos starting lineup. I've just seen some of their players that are starting with them. Bruma, Valbuena, and El Arabi up front. Decent players.
What's everyone's predictions? What's everyone's predictions?
I like the look of that centre back pairing though with Villa covering that centre half with Socrates. Yeah. I think we have a good show here. Odegaard, Saka, and Aubameyang up top. I predicted 1-0 yesterday, but I wasn't expecting Villa centre half. I'm thinking 2-0 Arsenal now.
Yeah, that was my show.
I think 2-0, yeah.
I'm going for 3-1. I'm going to go bold.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think this was going to change that much. But no, I do think we're going to get a good win. I did say 2-1 on Anthony's channel, but I want to up that by 1. And I think if we can get 3 away goals, oh my God, what a time.
It's not a bad side. I mean, when you look at it really, it's not a bad side. There's no reason why we can't go and get a good solid 2-0 win. There's no reason why not. I don't think. It's who turns up. Is it going to be the Leicester Arsenal?
Be interesting to see how we start.
Yeah.
First 5-10 minutes will tell us everything we need to know about this game.
Yeah. Partey, I just want to see Partey boss that midfield today. I just want to see him boss it.
Hey lads, I don't know if anyone watched that the United game earlier. Talking about potential partners for Partey. I like the look of that Kessie lad.
Yeah, Kessie's really
he looked good, didn't he? Yeah, he looked really good.
Very good.
And I think the Serie A is kind of like on a financial dump as well. So it might be easy to get players on a cheap, like League On. So hopefully there's some business to be done.
Come on.
Actually, I forgot to check. Are we all kind of in sync? I'm on just hitting 30 seconds now. Or
35 seconds.
Right, so slight.
I'm on 50 seconds.
Oh,
yeah, I'm with Dorsey.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah. So
so far behind.
So we're a good bit behind, Matt. We're a good bit behind.
You just have to celebrate when we do and just pretend you saw it.
Yeah.
Arsenal have started off out of the blocks. They're looking really aggressive, and I'm liking it. But we always see this in the first 10 minutes, and then it seems to drop off.
We haven't conceded, lads. We haven't conceded yet. Nobody joking.
Jack got a good old knee in the back, didn't he, just a moment
ago? Yeah,
he
did. That's the thing. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to irritate us. They're going to want to do everything they can to force a mistake or some form of a red card or something. Do you know what I mean?
I just hope Xhaka keeps his cool tonight if that's the case.
I think Odegaard's going to be very instrumental with how we break this team down.
Yeah, I'm liking the way that he's passing and moving in the spaces. He looks very on the ball.
I predicted his masterclass, so I hope it happens.
Partey as well. He's looking really sharp.
Yeah. He just keeps it so simple, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it makes everything. I never see him under any pressure. He always manages to get himself space.
Oh, go on.
Good ball back. Oh, Odegaard, man. That was my moment to shine.
Opportunity.
That was a good ball by Xhaka. At least
that was so similar to the Pepe one that he missed the weekend, wasn't it? When he he completely missed it, Pepe. But
I think you know what? I think he could have taken a touch. I think that's where you could have taken a shot, lined yourself up a bit, and then. But it's better in hindsight, because we're not there on the pitch.
Partey is just quality.
Yeah. Honestly, he is different.
He oozes class, doesn't he? He oozes class.
Outside of, obviously we all know how good.
I think that was that Odegaard chance that you just all saw.
Yeah.
You
can't be that far behind, surely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in the past. I'm living in the past.
I'm in the second half now. What's up here?
Arsenal are already 3-0 down on my stream.
I think Dawes' party look flying over here.
No, I've got the Spurs game on as well, just to see how they do.
I don't know why my BT stream's so far behind.
Who have they got? They got, is it Dynamo Kiev or something they've got?
Zagreb. Yeah.
Zagreb. They got Robbie Burton, haven't they? He's there, isn't he? Zagreb.
Yeah, Robbie Burton. Yeah.
Is he starting?
I have no idea. I'll check for you. I'm not really paying attention to that one.
No.
We're looking fairly bright though so far. I mean, knocking it about quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yes, very aggressive. But this is the problem with Arsenal. Unless they take their chances early on, they'll get out of the game. And one way or another, Olympiacos will try and isolate us away from playing that style of football.
Is that Jan Envia that's playing at the back for them?
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah, it looks like it's the other side.
Maybe we can finally sign him. We can scout him tonight if he's any good. Finally sign him up.
It's funny that was something that me and Souls talked about last night with the two Olympiacos fans. They mentioned Jan Envia. We were like, Jan Envia that plays for Arsenal, yeah.
Saka is taking no nonsense tonight. I've just seen him stand up pretty strong, fighting for the ball. He didn't go over. He doesn't get shrugged off the ball very easily, does he?
No, he's a mean character.
For a small guy, he's quite sturdy.
Albanian, isn't he?
Yeah.
on the
They're playing
topic
quite a
of
high
Xhaka,
line. This is very ballsy from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, with regards to Xhaka, I found it really interesting. Again, the two Olympiacos fans I had on last night, they mentioned the whole Xhaka situation, with throwing the jersey and, basically flipping off the fans. And they mentioned the player that Olympiacos had, Manuel da Costa, who did the same, turned around to the ultras and whatever, he said what he said, the club got rid of him. And
I did see that on your stream, yeah.
yeah, and they were talking about the difference in mentality. Like Jardim took over, didn't lose a game, but got sacked because the style of football wasn't good enough. And just went to show that
different attitude, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think
crazy.
it's. So I've got two things to say about that. So the first, go on. What save?
Mate,
How's that not
I was
gone
going to
in?
say we are tearing them apart. We are ripping them open. Oh my word!
Me and Matt are sitting here going,
Oh,
what?
come on, show me. What is it? What's he done?
Oh, finally a decent cross from Bellerin.
Mate, yeah.
Now we see it.
The link-up play has been so good so far. Literally.
Yeah.
I don't
That
think
ball from
Olympiacos can have to
Odegaard,
deal with
man.
it.
Oh, literally 6 minutes after
That's
the
a
rest of
great
it.
header.
I'm
It reflects off Socrates of all players.
I'll tell you
No,
something.
I hope,
That's
you know what I'm hoping? This doesn't come to bite us in the arse like it normally does.
Come on.
That's hell of a save, that is. Considering it's come
Yeah.
off Matey's shoulder and he's reacted, that's a brilliant save.
Oh, that is a good
Yeah.
save. That is a good save.
And sorry, Anthony, back to your with Xhaka. So the first thing is, after he did that, do I think we should have got rid of him? Absolutely. He should never have worn the shirt again. But given the fact he was given that chance, I just think he's certainly not won me over fully. But I think it shows me something that he's gone some way to want to try and earn the fans' trust back and respect. And listen, we'll never forget that. That's the problem, and that's regardless of how he does in the rest of his Arsenal career. That will be the one thing that people will always remember him for. But
Good skill from unlucky.
Tell you what,
Do you know what? William's been all right,
Yeah, he looked good.
Even better, I mean, we're just looking like we're passing the ball with a bit of purpose, a bit of punch. We look like we're moving with a bit of purpose.
Do you know? That's why I'm not that fussed about Pepe not playing, because I feel like if Pepe played, we probably wouldn't have this sort of passing, because he's more of a player. Once he's on the ball, he wants to drive at defenses.
Yeah, he's a dribbler, isn't he?
That's why I always say give it the first sort of 5 to 10 minutes just to see what the game plan is before we start criticizing certain decisions like a Pepe not playing or a set. I mean, I don't know if Bellerin's not done much yet. But
Good fee.
it's just the modern way, mate. It's what happens.
Yeah.
People have already know they already know what the result's going to be based on the lineup. They don't give it. There's no patience, and I think that's quite a key word for a modern football, really, isn't it? No one seems to have any patience with anything when it comes to football now.
I tell you
Well,
what,
I like
Willian's looking more Brazilian by the week.
Who's that?
Willian, I've just seen him with a nice little kind of bit of footwork on the edge of the box.
But that's what happens. But that's what happens when you get a run of games and you start doing some positive things. You build on that, don't you? And then the only way you can ever play a player into form is by playing him. It doesn't matter whether it's Willian or anybody else.
That Arteta's done that I absolutely loved is that, when players are out of form, instead of coming, because he said, look, we've made mistakes, and some people are like, why don't you name the players? He's not done that. So people like Willian are now feeling a bit more confident every game they play. And even like a Bellerin, for example, or even a Xhaka. So the next game they play, they're looking better because they've got that faith from the manager and they've not been criticised publicly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about Odegaard is he doesn't play with his head down. He's always looking for the right pass. He never releases it unless he's got someone to pass to. He doesn't give the ball away.
I hate to say it, but when he's on the ball, the way he changes directions, the way he feints, he reminds me so much of Mesut, the way he does that, the way he moves. But it's he's obviously his work rate's a fair bit high. Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, that's bad. That was bad.
Run it off, mate. You'll be all right. We've all had them tackles.
Yeah.
So Sunday league clattering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're the worst. You know when it's freezing cold? I hate it. Because it just seems like everything hurts just that much more.
Luckily, Souls, you're the only one that has to worry about that nowadays, and I don't think any of us need to worry about going out on a cold Sunday.
I can't. You know what? That's the one thing I can't wait to do is go play football again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just-
going for a bit of AstroTurf or something.
Yeah.
In my mind,
Over 60s AstroTurf, I can't wait.
in my mind, I'm a prime athlete. In body, I'm definitely not.
I just do the. I just like the walking football nowadays. That's the best kind of football for me.
Even with 7-a-side, you know what? The first game, you go back and play, you're like, oh my god, I can't be asked.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get forward. Come on.
So I'm at that stage now where I watch a match and I need to take 3 weeks off, like just cramps and everything, like just.
Oh.
But yeah, you know what? First 10 minutes, I'm actually quite happy with the team and the way they're playing.
Yeah, we're definitely on the front foot. You know, they've not had anything. We're the ones looking for the pass forwards, trying to split them open.
How do you know? You've only watched the first 5 minutes.
I was going to say, I've only 1 minute first.
Actually, what minute are you on now, Dawsy?
What's that, mate?
What minute are you on right now?
It's 11:23.
Oh man, I'm on 11:05 right now.
Okay, so you're about 20 seconds behind. I'll try and delay my celebrations by 10 seconds or so. Let you join in.
But the only good thing is, at least with VAR, right, you're probably going to be celebrating, dancing around, and by the time it's all confirmed, we'll have all caught up and we'll all be kind of on the same page.
It'll be
My
like
celebration.
a
Yeah,
wave of celebrations, won't it?
Yeah. My celebrations need to be fairly muted because my little boys are only above me, so just try and restrain it a little bit. But at least on the flip side, mate, if they score, at least you've got 20 seconds to turn it off. You don't have to watch it.
I've got 20 seconds to down me drink and start another one.
This
Party's quite heavily involved at the moment, isn't he? Going forward and
everything
and defensively, he's everywhere at the minute. I guess that's why they call him the octopus.
Yep.
Tentacles everywhere.
Even at Atletico Madrid, man, the guy was so good.
Yeah. I always feel like you need to be a bit of a... Try and pick the right word. You always have to be a bit of a dick, don't you, to be a defensive midfielder? You have to be a bit of an horrible kind of... You have to have that side to... It doesn't seem like he's got that. When you see him in his interviews and stuff, he seems he seems pretty laid back and chill, but he's...
Then again,
he's
look
a
at
player.
N'Golo Kante. Nicest guy in the world.
He's a perfect example, yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened to him, though? He's kind of fallen off a bit of a cliff, really. He's not been the player he was a couple of years back.
He's obviously going to sign for Arsenal at the end of the season, so.
Yeah. A bit like Lassana Diarra when we signed him as well. Go on.
Good ball. Good play. Good play. Ooh.
In fairness, Lassana Diarra, that's a player I actually got very excited about when we signed.
I did as well, yeah.
Do you know a party goal is coming? Like with the amount of shots man's had, surely there's one coming soon.
He needs to lower him a little bit though. Everyone seems to go at least row. Yeah.
It's like when the La Liga do those player reveals and they kick the balls into the stands for the fans. It's like Party's just doing one of them.
He's sent someone up in row Z.
Has he actually hit the target since he's been with us? Because I don't think
he has. I can't remember.
Because he tends to have a lot of long range. Oh, just seeing that cross into the box with Saka. Could have gone.
Oh, come on, KT. Go on.
Oh, man.
He's kept it in. Oh,
that just went out, no?
No, he did well enough to keep it in, but...
Do you know one thing I am going to say about Bellerin? He's finally making the right moves.
Yeah. He's lost a significant amount of pace, though, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, 100.
Hopefully he makes the right move in the summer.
Oh,
The thing is, normally when you're heavily reliant on pace, if you lose some of that, or as you get older, you naturally lose some. You have to try and. I think the problem with Hector, he hasn't
my
tried to
worry with
adapt his
Lamptey.
game without having that pace. He still thinks he's got it.
You need to read the game better. You know, it's a bit like a Mertesacker. He wasn't quick at all, was he? You know,
when
he
you
could read the game excellently.
Yeah, you know when you get those compilations where like they'll show 3 or 4 times where he sprinted back like 70 yards and made a last-ditch tackle. He's done a few of them, but for me, I mean that's great. But I mean he's obviously out of position in the first place, otherwise he wouldn't need to do that. But
that's why I'm worried about the Tariq Lamptey signing, because I don't know whether he's all pace or whether he's actually a good right back.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes KT stand out is that you don't see many fullbacks now that primarily their job is to defend. And I think that's why I think he's a bit of a throwback in the sense that he defends first and then he goes forward, whereas so many fullbacks now just focus on getting forward.
Well, they want to be midfielders, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. It's a decent position, this.
The link-up play between Willian, Aubameyang and Odegaard has been really good.
Odegaard has been brilliant so far. I've just seen a lovely bit of what give and go. He's so good with give and go.
Oh, David Luiz, step away, will you, mate?
Do you know the other thing with Pepe, and I think why he's not played specifically in this game, I think if Lacazette plays, you'll see Pepe play, because I feel like Aubameyang and Pepe take up a lot of the similar positions when they play on the pitch.
Yeah.
Nothing deflates me more than seeing a free kick in a decent position and David Luiz standing over it. And if he scores now, I'm switching off.
Well, given his header, he should be on the end of him, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of these days, one of them will go in.
That is a David Luiz range, though. Like, the style of free kick he has, this is his sort of range.
Yeah, but it's 1 in 500, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he hasn't got a free kick since he played for Benfica.
It might actually be true, that.
No.
Oh, at least he got it on target.
No?
Well, they got the netting up behind the goal, so at least the ball's safe and the car park's safe.
Yeah, Arsenal don't have to pay that fine.
Why
watch,
would you not
thunder in now?
Oh, is that? I think that was off anyway.
Why would you not let Granit Xhaka hit it? I mean, he's got a better free kick technique, in my opinion, than.
You know where he almost hit the bar? He had that thunderous free kick where it just dipped and did it just
really?
Yeah. He's got a brilliant technique from set plays. That one he scored against Palace was ridiculous. I mean, we were wearing that horrible mint green kit.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of our better free kick. Probably the best.
Yeah.
Oh man.
On target, we've got to give him credit for something.
Yeah. Well, he's moving in the right direction.
Just a wasted opportunity for me. I don't ever see why you bother doing it.
Nice little move down the way.
Nervy the longer it goes without a goal. Come on, Aubameyang, man, give us a moment.
It's just one of those games that will one goal will open it up.
I was just going to say, the longer it drags on, the more Olympiacos will get back into this game. They will get a foothold and their confidence will be a little bit more restored. So they need to score, man. They need to score in the next 10 minutes or so. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very difficult second half and potentially the last 15 minutes.
If I was them, I'd be just get the first half out of the way. Don't give away anything stupid, and then second half, let's turn it up a little bit.
If we get a goal, it opens it up because that's an away goal. They're gonna have to come out and get something. I know, obviously, if they get an away goal as well, then it obviously changes things. But
I think getting a minimum of 2 away goals is I think that should be the target.
He's onside there.
Yeah, but it's a poor ball though. A typical Bellerin ball there.
I don't know. I think it was an okay ball. The goalkeeper was just positioned really well to get it. If you had someone at the front post running in there, get a little slight contact onto it.
We definitely look more organised and a little bit more switched on than we were against Benfica. Definitely sharper.
Yeah, 100%. which is always good because then you know what Arsenal you're going to expect on the night.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping in the second half it's the same Arsenal that come out and play a high line, try and be the first one to the ball.
Do you know what? Just watching that replay back with Saka and Bellerin, they're actually linking up okay.
Yeah, you know what? I never understood this Bellerin criticism that he gets week in, week out. I actually think he's a decent footballer. He's obviously not good enough to play for Arsenal because he's got too many errors and too much complacency. But all in all, he does a decent job. He's okay going down the wing. And do you know what? Fair enough. He started off as a winger when he started at Barcelona. He started off as a winger.
Oh, Odegaard, we've done.
Oh my God. See, it's errors like that make it justifiable for why Bellerin gets all the stick that he does. I was going to say his defensive game is awful, it's woeful, but when he goes forward, he looks half decent. But things like that, can't afford to do that.
Yeah, thank God that didn't cost us that time. It could have been another day, but thankfully that's not.
But this is it. I feel really irritated now because we shouldn't be making mistakes like that. And do you know what it comes down to? It comes down to complacency and comfortability. They look far too comfortable pinging the ball up and down the pitch, and they're obviously forgetting that the opposition are on their heels at any given opportunity. And that's exactly what happened against Burnley. And this is why I don't blame Xhaka or Leno. Every single man on that pitch for playing as arrogantly as they did.
And like I said, this is a better position. This one.
Oh, stop hitting me, boy, Sack. I'm gonna come there sort you out, mate. Why they keep kicking my boy?
Oh,
that should have been a yellow card at least.
Yeah. No, it's against Arsenal, mate. It's not gonna get no. Oh no, they
got a yellow card. Thank God.
Yeah, got a yellow. Yeah, but forgot it's European referees.
Better not be savage.
Xhaka is so slow to release the ball.
And I just realised now that it was Odegaard that let that ball go.
Yeah.
Journey had miles of space down the left-hand side, and Xhaka took so long to release the ball to him. Like I say, decent position for the free kick. I don't know if they take it at your end.
No, not yet.
No, don't worry, mate. We're still 5 years behind.
I say it's a bit of a lunging tackle, that one. Yeah, not great.
I'd let Odegaard have a go at this.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen him take a free kick. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I have.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him when I've seen him play for Sociedad or anything. But I mean, he looks like a player who's got good technique.
It's Ober or Odegaard. It's only one of the two.
I reckon it's going to be a Bambi.
Oh, mate. He took the wrong corner. Good hit, though.
Yeah. I would have loved to see Odegaard take that.
I mean, why would you not have him try and bend it over the wall and then the other side of the goal where the keeper's not stood?
Make him work for it.
Exactly.
Well, good press there. Oh, well done, Gabriel.
Every time I look at that keeper, all I'm seeing is David De Gea.
Yeah.
I was wondering where David De Gea was tonight. Now I know.
I'll tell you something, though. His place is at risk because that Dean Henderson's, he's a bloody good goalkeeper, he is.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Play it.
That's good space. Good amount of space for him to run.
Free kick. How many more, Ref?
You know what? This is getting ridiculous now. They're clearly targeting Saka, and the ref needs to do something about it. Any man who tries to have a go at Saka now needs to be booked because it's clear that this is part of their tactics. They're trying to man mark him out of the game or swipe his legs out.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but that's not on. Look at that. It's a blatant foul. He's got no attempt of playing the ball at all.
No.
Right from behind. I'm surprised the ref didn't give a yellow for that.
Yeah, I think once a player gets targeted, they need to start giving cards just to prevent it from happening.
Jack is over this one.
Good pass from Odegaard to Saka there. That was great pass.
I feel a goal coming.
That was
I
a
reckon,
lovely-
I reckon it's Xhaka free kick going in now.
This
You
is
know?
the perfect distance for Xhaka to hit it.
We already missed our chance for a goal. I took my bathroom break, and usually that's when we score. So I might have to nip back out to the bathroom for a sec.
Oh, Tottenham scored. Oh, that's not great. Oh,
Hit the wall.
Xhaka. What on earth is that?
They're all wanting to have a go, though, aren't they?
Yeah. What is that?
Well, it's exactly what
Oh,
happened when
Willian.
City went to Greece. They had a hatful of chances. They only managed to score one. So I don't know if this is a sort of a game plan from Olympiacos where they allow the opposition to sit back and they allow the opposition to have as many shots as possible and just hope only one or two go in. But it's a difficult place to go and score like as many goals as you'd want to.
Well, and to be honest, we haven't really done that in too many games this season, have we? Realistically.
If someone offered me a 1-0 I'll take it now. So go back with a clean sheet and just get a win.
Yeah.
We can get
Mate, I don't know, man.
It's a bonus.
Just last year's memories alone just are haunting me to this day. I just can't. I don't know, man. This Arsenal team.
Do you know my only positive, right, is that if we can even go into half time with a 0-0, we've got the likes of Pepe, Martinelli. We've got we've got a few players. Even like Lacazette can change the game. So that's my only positive, that we do have at least we've got decent players on the bench that can make an impact.
I would like
We've
to
definitely
see
got a
Martinelli
better
come
squad
on.
of players this year than last year. Far stronger attacking players on the bench and on field as well.
Oh my God, what a pass.
Yeah, great pass from Partey.
Oh, he's
But
different.
this is
I just
they
love it.
falter. They falter in the final third. It's like, credit to Olympiacos for holding their position really well. And
Why? Oh my God, Bellerin.
it's difficult to play against this side when they're sitting back and when they're happy to hold their shape.
But you know what? They know that that's what Arsenal struggle with.
Yeah, that's it. We struggle in the final third because we're not quick enough to make our mind up which way to go.
Yeah, I don't know why Bellerin didn't try and get that ball. I don't know why he just completely stopped. But you know what? For the first sort of 28 minutes, I'm actually liking the game plan. I think it's a solid game plan from Arteta. I think the fans who criticised it now need to apologise.
I think we look
Might
good.
be a bit early for that.
I was going to say, this is it. Arsenal usually do play the games well. They usually do look pretty on the pitch. It's the results that don't come their way because for whatever reason, they either give a stupid goal away or they're not clinical enough in the final third. And he said that. He's identified. I mean, look, once again, they
Why?
And they're now in a very, very dangerous position. And this is another thing with Arsenal. Constant bullshitting with throw-ons. Keep it short, keep it simple. Half of the time they want to take it long. And the time that they do want to take it short, it comes to nothing.
But this pisses me off, man. The second time, can you not learn? The same thing again. We just put the guy under pressure. It's like, come on.
Odegaard's had a tough couple of minutes, really. He's given the ball away a couple of times, and
yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is the problem, right? So we can have bursts of 10 minutes where we play very good, and then it seems like we just lose our edge.
This is what I said. The first 10 minutes were perfect. You need to capitalize on that and try and get an opportunity. I mean, look, granted, they hit the bar, but the last thing you want to do is then sit back and allow them to get back into the game. Hold that high line, put them under pressure, force them to make a mistake. Right now, they've sat back into their normal shape. Olympiacos are pinging the ball around. And before you know it, we're going to make a stupid mistake and they'll get a goal.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that
their centre-backs are slow as well. We'll capitalise on those things as well, but it's not looking like we've done any of that.
Yeah, we kind of lost that bit of rhythm we had at the start. We looked a bit in control. Now we've sat back a little bit.
Thing is, Olympiacos are always going to get 15, 20 minute, a couple of, or at least one in each half, 10, 15 minute spell where they're in the game. And that's always going to happen. You can't avoid that. Oh,
I don't know. I just don't. Well, you don't need them to be. If a team like City, I'm not going to let Olympiacos dictate the game for 10 15 minutes.
Yeah, but we're not City.
No, I get it.
Not City.
Arsenal are no City. But if you want to go into this game and treat it as a final, you don't give away stupid balls and you don't allow the opposition to have many opportunities going forward. The intensity just died down a little bit, and it's a bit. Do you know what I mean? This is where Arsenal are at their most vulnerable. The coach would have said to them, let them play 10, 15 minutes. Eventually, they'll put their foot off the gas and then hit them in the attack.
What did you guys think of Socrates at Arsenal?
I thought he had some good games. I didn't think he was a bad player at all, to be honest with you.
I think he's a decent centre-back.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he would celebrate tackles. I love that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a
I absolutely like. I was listening to a podcast earlier with Jimmy Bullard, and he was interviewing David Seaman. And he was talking about how he became a goalkeeper and stuff like that. And David, he said, look, listen, people. There's loads of people that are goalkeepers, but you have to want to be a goalkeeper. You know, some people play in a position because that's where they're put. And maybe Hector Bellerin is a perfect example of that, because I can't remember who said it earlier, but he started off as a winger. But as a kid, you need to want to play in a position. You could just tell that Socrates has always been a centre back. He's never played a different position in his life, has he? And he just absolutely loves it.
And I think that's what that endears you to people. And I think that's why Kieran Tierney gets that kind of same respect as well, because you can see they're a bit old school.
Yeah. Did you see the Kieran Tierney video when they released the bench cam footage from Burnley and KT at the end of it? It was basically as the final whistle went, it was panning around the players, and all you heard in the background was KT saying, "Take your fucking chances, man!" Like you could hear it clear as day.
Yeah, I can imagine. But that's the thing. Even as fans, that's all we're shouting. Just come on, take your chances, please.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone very, very boring.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what I did there. I leaned over and knocked the whole thing over.
What hit it? You know.
Shit, absolute shit.
Prime Aubameyang positioning there. Prime. So unlucky to not get it.
You wouldn't want another player in that position.
What's that?
You wouldn't want a different player in that position. He's the perfect player.
It's starting to annoy me because I'm starting to think about like the Olympiacos last season, where chances are going to come back to haunt us.
Think back to the first leg. Lizette should have had a hat trick. Didn't take the opportunity. Yeah. Scored the goal eventually.
Hit it.
Oh! Oh my God! Oh, I called it! I flipping called it!
Come on, I want to see this. Come on.
Yeah, Matt, this is painful. My Arsenal haven't scored yet.
Right, Anthony, think about Messi last night, right? That's just what has happened.
Come on, I want to see it.
Oh my
God.
Ball across. Bellerin.
Mate, look at the audacity to hit it from that range.
Anthony,
come on.
You know what happened there.
Did you take notes?
Yeah, that was the worst. I had everybody going, and I'm sitting here going,
oh my Lord.
Mate, the goalkeeper guy's a howler there. He should have pumped it out with both of his fists. That's 1-0 Arsenal. Come on!
Yes, boys.
There's an away goal as well. This is another thing. That's another thing, right?
Oh my God.
Oh, keeper. There's another thing about people saying a 1-0 win is no good. A 1-0 win gives us an away goal as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was a goal.
What a strike that was.
This is it now. Now we see who the boys and who the men are on the pitch, because you go 1-0 up. Arsenal typically put their foot off the gas and allow the opposition to come back in the game. They need to go and get the second goal now.
I mean, I don't know what the keeper's doing there. He kind of flapped at it, but there's a bit of movement on the ball. But what a strike. What a strike.
Oops. Just woken my little boy up.
And that's why he lost his spot to Dean Henderson.
Now that's what I wanted to see tonight.
Yeah, I did say an Odegaard masterclass incoming. Man just done step one of many.
Yes, boys. Now let's keep it solid. Not do anything silly.
Yeah, just get through to half time now. They're gonna want to come out at some point and try and get a goal. So,
well, that's it. That's exactly what they're doing now. So if we can get into half time with being 1-0 up, compose ourselves for the second half, first 5 minutes, dominate the game, should be okay. But it's all about composure now.
Yeah.
Well, I think Philippus flouts in the comments with Olympiacos. I think Odegaard has probably silenced them a bit. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, let me change the banner. I'm not good at this stuff.
That's a yellow. That's a yellow. Book him now. Book him now. I want nothing less. Thank you very much. Twat.
This is what I love a watch along, because we see different personalities come out.
Yeah, we're all like real.
You don't want to know what I'm
so
like when I want
chill.
my own. It's 10 times worse.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. I am so much worse.
Everybody on the podcast is real chill and laid back, and now it's like, fucking twat, book him.
Oh, it's like we got the inner tie come out. Where's the card? Where's the card? Book him.
Hopefully one day, lads, we'll be able to do this in person.
Oh, what a turn by Aubameyang. What a great turn by Aubameyang. Got caught there, though. I'm a little bit behind you, obviously. Yeah.
Next season, when we draw Olympiacos, we'll all be over there in Athens.
Oh, yes. No.
We go live watch along inside the stadium.
Yeah, how good would that be? Can't wait until you get out to watch games again. Definitely.
Oh man, I can't. Yeah.
Douche.
Oh, you're so good, mate. I just love Odegaard, man. I love Partey, man. We need to sign Odegaard.
They're just
Odegaard's been different gravy this game. Literally, I don't know. He's come out of his shell.
I see this every game from him, though. Every game I've seen him play. Bar, I think last week he was a little bit off flavour, but he's been very good from the moment he got.
No, he's been quality, but I just feel like this game he's really come out of his shell. Like, he just looks like he's settled. You know, he's finally here. He's got his boots on. He's ready to go.
Well, he's got something on to hit a ball like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think in fairness, like he hadn't played an awful lot of football, so I kind of forgave him for, dropping off a small bit, because he's probably got the tired legs,
Yeah, I think he said he only played it like a few games in like 8 months or something stupid.
I think he played seven games or something for Real this season, didn't he? So,
that was it, 7 games.
Yeah, like, there is a lot to be said. I know people, they say, but look, they're all this professional football, they should be able to play. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You're still human. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's from people that haven't played football.
Exactly.
No, but even if you give them an example of, like, let's say, for example, you go to the gym and then for whatever reason you've had to take a week off, you go back on your first session, it is a killer.
I wouldn't know.
Between gym.
Oh my word! What?
Oh, we need to cut this shit out, because we do this too much.
Is that David Luiz? I missed that because I was looking at the camera.
Oh my God!
Mate, this is exactly what happened against Burnley. The same scenario, just on the other side. Learn to play the fucking ball quicker. There's no reason for you to dilly-dally around and take 2 or 3 touches. There's no reason.
Why are we not passing it back to the keeper?
What do we keep saying? Do not play the ball across your own goal. You learn this under 6s, like.
Christ.
My
this
God.
team, man.
I have to commend you on your use of the words dilly-dally, though. It's good to see that being brought back in.
The person that came into my head, I just didn't know how to respond.
I like it.
They're going to do this all night long, though. They're going to do exactly what Burnley done. As soon as we start playing it from the back, high line, get 2 or 3 men in that area to try and exploit us.
I've just seen that from Louise. Why would you do it? Why would you do it?
Your side, they got blind.
It's a very heavy first touch as well.
Yeah.
You know what, lads? The only kind of comfort I take from these constant errors is that it is the same players every time. Like, at least it's not different defenders, you know. So at least you kind of get to a point where you go, if we can get rid of these guys, maybe the mistakes will go with them. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
And that's why my blame's not everything on Arteta, because we're not tactically. I don't see us ever getting outplayed by anybody tactically.
Yeah.
It's silly mistakes and just lapses of concentration that just get us every single time.
Yeah, there's no problem with playing from the back. All the top teams in Europe right now are doing exactly what Arteta wants to do. Only difference is they do it quicker and they do it better. And the quality's not there at the back.
Yeah, well, look, take our first goal against Burnley. It started with Thomas Partey picking the ball up in the box. And look what he did. You know, he's so press resistant. He beat everybody. He got the ball out. Then you put Granit Xhaka in that scenario and we seen what happens. So, like I said, with better quality of players, you would like to think, you know, that we're gonna play a better quality of football.
I think we just need a more mobile player. Xhaka's not mobile enough. He's not got that agility like a Partey does. Like Partey's built like a brick, but he doesn't move like one.
Oh, look, they're in again. Oh, fucking hell, man.
In all fairness, do you
this is where we concede at these moments.
Go on, but make the run. Oh, wrong direction.
Yeah, definitely the wrong move there.
Oh, that's a great ball. Leave it. Go on. Pass it. Overlap. Ooh. Ooh.
That's very unlucky. That was very unlucky.
Just to make you feel a bit better, do you remember when we started playing out from the back with Petr Cech in goal?
Oh, man.
Some of those. Remember the one that he played along his own goal line and out for a corner?
Poor old Petr Cech. He was about 107 years old, and you ask him to play a new tactic. Like,
after playing a certain way for 106 of those years, and you're asking him to start playing football with his feet. It's like asking a basketball player to start playing netball or cricket or something. It's just you're playing a different sport. Not going to happen.
Oh, come on. You can't book him for that. What kind of BS is that?
Do you know these last 5 minutes are gonna shake me up so much.
Oh, that ain't a booking.
Mate,
you saw that one there, Gabriel.
I don't know how you can give him a yellow for that.
I mean, he didn't play the ball. That's the problem.
Yeah, but if you're going to give him a yellow for that, then what about the guy that's tackled Saka from behind? He didn't get anything for that.
Yeah,
exactly the same sort of tackle.
Lads, if that's a yellow card, every tackle is a yellow card. That's
what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a free kick, but not a yellow.
Yeah, it was a foul and it was a free kick, but the play was just quicker than him. He's not intentionally gone out to try and foul him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, especially like the area of the pitch as well. Like, it's not as even. You know what I mean? I don't think that was going to really lead to much.
I was reading earlier. Apparently, all the Premier League clubs are submitting a survey, aren't they, about VAR, about what they think's good about it and what's bad about it. I didn't quite read the full article, but.
You know, for the Arsenal one, can the fans do it?
Well, I reckon they'll get a novel from Arsenal.
Someone get in the box.
Yeah.
No. You know what the Arsenal board are going to be? Yeah, it's all good, mate. Just carry
about that thick. Yeah. Just VAR survey.
Our report will suddenly go missing in the post and they won't receive it.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got Dick Garlick on the board now, ex-FA, so he better make sure he does his job and hits up his buddies.
What a brilliant name as well.
Dick Garlick.
Oh, come on.
On the topic of VAR, what did you make of the disallowed goal in the United game tonight, the AC Milan goal?
It was a handball, but very harsh. Very harsh.
The commentator said
Oh,
if it's in June, then that goal counts. Because it's not like he intentionally wanted to handle the ball. It was a beautiful goal. I think, in all fairness, if you're weighing up the pros and cons, and if you're weighing up how harsh it is, it's a very harsh, but it's a very valid. I mean, if it's against us, we'll be making the case all day long that he handled it with his hand.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a hard one. Yeah, finish 1-1. Yeah, it was a hard one though, because like whatever about the Premier League and VAR, but at least they'll show you about 8 different angles. With Europa League, for some reason, you might get 1 or 2, and I still couldn't see it clearly. To me, it looked like a chest. Looked like he took it on the
Sorry,
side.
if Gabriel got a yellow for that, how did he not get a yellow leaving his leg dangling?
Yeah, it's just consistency needed,
That's
man.
just poor, that. From, Maddie, maybe.
Why is David Luiz the furthest man forward?
I know. What's going on?
Your guess is as good as anyone's.
Oh! That's a free kick!
Oh.
Ref!
Hey, no, that's a free kick, mate! What do you mean, get up? Nah, these refs are
mate.
Yes, Bukayo.
Great tackle by Saka.
Oh, this ref loves telling man to step up, you know.
That did look like a free kick on Luiz when I first saw it.
Oh man, these refs are on something.
That's it, half time, boys.
At least we kept it, you
1-0
know.
up.
Right, so if we're looking at our bench, if we're looking at the bench, what do you think needs to come on, or what could change the game in your opinions?
I think going into the second half, first 10 minutes, they need to dictate the game in the first 10 minutes. If they don't, and if Olympiacos still remain in control, then you might want to take off Willian or Saka and bring on Pepe. Because with Pepe, you know you get directness. You know you get a player who is going to run at you and who's going to try and open you up.
Yeah,
and they'll be wary of that as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think we've seen enough from their fullbacks to suggest that they can hurt us maybe the way we were thinking they might have. So I think you could afford to definitely take a risk with, take off the safety of Willian and bring on maybe the creativity of Pepe.
Yeah.
If we concede tonight, it'll be because of our mistake again. It doesn't look like they've got the ability to be able to play through us or around us and create something. They don't appear to have that. So if we do concede, it'll be our own fault.
They've been limited to longer range chances and the odd kind of getting into our final third and then kind of fluffing their lines and being snuffed out. So far, so good, really, I think.
Take a quick break, boys. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I got to do the same. I'll do a bathroom break, so when I come back, we'll be 2-0 up at half time.
Well, to be fair, we haven't, bar Louise's almost disaster class, we haven't given away anything, have we? We're 1-0 up.
There was that one early ball given away by Odegaard. Other than that. Do you know what? It literally is. This game really is in the palm of our hands. Like most games have been. Just keep it tight. In the first 10 minutes, come out, control the game, control the pace, slow it down as well. Because they're going to want to come all guns blazing, trying to put us under pressure straight away. Control the pace for the first 10, 15 minutes. And then afterwards, look for that second goal. Because I wouldn't feel comfortable going to the Emirates with a 1-0 cushion.
No, probably not.
No. It's easy to get, the thing is, though, you'll grow in confidence if you know it's just a 1-0 deficit that you've got to overcome. Even a 2-0 deficit is very easy to overcome. So it's at least if we can get the 2 and keep it clean sheet, because I think we can keep a clean sheet in this game if we just don't give away those errors that we have done. And we're looking good, but, it is Arsenal, man. Anything's possible.
We've definitely played with more purpose tonight. We've got forward. We've been quite punchy with our passing. We've kept the tempo up for most of the game so far. There's a little period where we did slow down, but we did kind of pick it back up again. We're looking dangerous. We're winning free kicks. We are troubling them. I
have to say, I've been really impressed with us getting into the final third as quickly as possible. They've been looking really, really impressive with the passing movement combination between one another, especially Odegaard. And his relationship with Saka and his relationship with Willian and Aubameyang has been really, really impressive.
He does tend to favour the right, though, doesn't he, Odegaard? He doesn't tend to spread it over to the left a little bit, does he? He tends to stick down the right-hand side. But no,
I've always wondered what the combination would be between Partey, Odegaard, and then Emil Smith Rowe in the number 10 role with Saka on the right-hand side. Can you imagine? It would lack a lot of defensive work, but I mean, in terms of going forward, that's something that I'd love to see.
Well, Partey, I mean, Partey can kind of play both, can't he? He can be a box-to-box or he can be a defensive, midfielder. So he'd probably cope, I think, if you asked him to play that kind of deeper defensive role while Odegaard got forward a bit. So it'd be interesting. But yeah, I think we've been good so far tonight. Like, so I think Pepe maybe a bit later on to go a bit more direct. But other than that, I think even Bellerin, in fairness, actually hasn't had a terrible game so far.
Nope.
So
I'm happy so far with the way we've played. And I think a lot of the players have finally, like that's what we've been saying. We want to perform. We want to see that mentality change, from the players. And that's exactly what we've got today. It's a complete, and I think Farhan said it in the group chat. Maybe someone else as well said it, where in the big games, these players do turn up. And to be fair, this season, that's what we've been seeing, that mentality change when games like this, where they matter so much, they've come
look at the games
good.
that the points have been dropped. I mean, let's pick it up. Let's have a chat.
Just quickly, what do you think of this out and out doing the podcast?
No, he's got.
You said Odegaard's been our worst player, strangely enough.
No,
I think he's been.
I'm not.
He's got to be joking.
He hasn't got his last one.
I'm not going to be. I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit, just in the sense that I think Olympiacos have been really, really poor. I don't think. I don't think we've been brilliant. I think we've done all right, but this Olympiacos side I don't think they look like they've got much about them, really, in all honesty.
I think the style of play, I think we've just been a lot more positive, and that's what I like. We've been a lot more positive, but Olympiacos haven't exactly been a huge threat, but so far, we've been a bit more solid. We've been a bit.
You can only play what's in front of you, and it's from that sense, we've done most of our work pretty well. I don't think we've been brilliant at anything, but at the same time, we don't look like conceding, which is a good sign. But
it feels a little bit like Benfica all over again, though, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Look at that, 9 shots, 5 on target.
No, I feel like Benfica in a sense where I feel like we're the stronger team if we up the tempo. I feel like we can put it away. Whether we're going to do that now. It feels like Benfica, as in we could easily let this side back into the game, although we look the better side.
Do we feel like
this is it?
This is just come to me.
The best. Go on.
That's it. 60 mile an hour, that strike. But sorry, do you think that we've ever seen a team under Mikel hit top gear?
Not yet, I don't think. No.
Yes, I think West Brom was one of the very few times, and maybe Leeds, one of the very few times where we've seen relentless Arsenal, even in the 86th minute or even in the 80th minute, where they're still 3-0 up and they're still hunting for goals. But very rarely.
One of the best performances I saw. You remember last season against Leicester?
Yeah.
Remember when we played Leicester and. My memory's not the best. I think we may have gone and lost the game, but for at least the first half, we were unbelievable. I'm trying to think, what happened?
I remember us against Leicester this season at home, where we were absolutely killing them, and then they brought on Jamie Vardy, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. And what does he do? He runs in behind Luiz, ball's popped into the box, and he heads it in, or he gets a touch or whatever.
I've just seen a clip of Martin Odegaard, and he had a bit of a touch of the Ivan Drago about him.
Yeah, if he dies. And that's what he said to the gatekeeper as he hit it, I think.
Yeah. Mind you, if it struck at 60 miles an hour, bloody hell.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, I I can't praise Martin Keown enough as a player and what he did for the club. But God, I cannot listen to him as a pundit. Oh my God, he's awful.
Yeah, he's not great.
Why? What's he said? I can't hear anything.
Oh, I've turned him down. I've not really had much sound on, but I can just tell by his facial expressions that he's coming out with
He's
something.
always on the fence, isn't he? He never wants to fully 100% back the boys. Whereas if you got players, pundits like Ian Wright, like Righty, you know what you're going to expect from him.
Yeah.
But the sort of stuff that he comes out with, when mate, you put that comment in the chat saying Odegaard's been our best player, that's the sort of thing Keown would say, but he would mean it.
Yeah.
Like he's just what games are you watching?
Do you know what though? Looking at the results so far for these games, not a single surprising result.
You guys can't hear that on my end, can you? Any like
No.
Awesome.
Not really.
Yeah, so Ajax are pretty much through to the last 16. Villarreal are pretty much through to the last 16.
Yeah.
So you can put those two in the hat. Everyone else is pretty much open. Slavia Prague and Rangers through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
the only surprise is the fact that the Rangers game isn't 4-4. That's the only surprise.
Yeah. Their form in the Europa League is completely different to their league form, isn't it? Completely different teams.
Tell you, some team is going to get a nice draw in the next round, Molde or Granada. Somebody's getting a nice pass.
Please.
all right, so let's realistically say, right, Arsenal, hypothetically speaking, Arsenal are through in the last in the quarterfinals. You've got Ajax in the hat, Villarreal. No. Let's say AC Milan beat United. I just genuinely feel like in San Siro they'll beat them. Slavia Prague beat Rangers. I got a slight feeling that they'll go through to the next round as well. Granada or Molde, Roma, then Tottenham.
It's doable.
Yeah, because I feel like we do have the better edge over United. I do think over 2 games we could possibly get the result. Tottenham, I mean, that's the one that scares me the most because it's a North London derby both ways, and it's like it could go either way that game. Even United can, but I just feel like we're like their bogey team. Like Ollie just doesn't know how to beat an Arteta, for example. Villarreal are very good. That would be one that I'd be like, oh, don't want that. And Ajax, it depends what Ajax turn up because they can also be very hit and miss.
They're a very good football inside. I think anyone from Netherlands, their ability to play football is incredible. But it's the age-old question of are they consistent enough? It's very similar to it.
Bottom line is if we're serious about winning this, doesn't matter, does it? You know, if we're really serious about wanting to win this, then doesn't really matter who we get in the next round. If you're going to be confident enough to really push on and try and win it, and actually, it would be the 2 English teams left that I wouldn't be overly worried about. I mean, obviously, worst case scenario, us getting knocked out against Spurs would be an absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? But I would feel more confident against a team that we're used to playing against than I would do maybe like an Ajax that Mikel's not managed against that side. He's not managed against Villarreal. Maybe, I mean, obviously he does his homework, but
you make a good point there.
There's a few teams I'd prefer to avoid, but for me personally, I hate getting to a final and lose. I'd almost rather get knocked out before I get to the final.
Yeah.
And the disappointment of losing the final, I don't think there's anything worse.
Yeah, I think people only remember the finalists.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never remember the needy men, do you?
Yeah.
No. I don't think I'll ever forget that League Cup final against Birmingham. That will never, ever leave my mind, that.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Which one? The one against Birmingham?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were going through that trophy drought. And it was written, we were going to win this trophy before the game even started.
I tell you something, right, though, that game, that could have checked that was a switch for me in the club, not winning that game, because there was some decent players there that we could have built on, and I know it's only the League Cup, but it was bigger than that at the time because of the trophy drought, the fact we hadn't won anything. You go on and win that, you might keep some of those players, you add a couple more, and you're in a whole different place.
Yeah.
Not saying that was the start of the demise, but
I think that was the start of the demise was the Champions League final. Imagine what could have been.
Oh, mate, it just... Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt physically sick about a game of football than that one.
That was a huge...
Do you know what? I don't think it was even I actually said this, I think it was on Albert's channel. We were talking about this, like your biggest disappointment as an Arsenal fan. And I mentioned that one as mine. And it wasn't for the fact that we lost the Champions League final. I think it was because you knew it was make or break. You know, it was almost like, say, that Porto team that won the Champions League. Yeah. You sort of knew, regardless, those guys were moving on no matter what. It sort of felt like with Arsenal, it was like, okay, if we win this, there's a good chance we can build. But it felt like, you know, a good lump of that team was gone.
Yeah. And imagine going into your first season in the new stadium as European champions.
Yeah.
Imagine what a difference that makes. I know you haven't won it in the Emirates, but going into it as European champions, that's huge. I mean, I would never say anything bad against the players on that pitch because they left absolutely everything out on that pitch. Yeah. But I'm still convinced to this very day, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. Had that goal stood and Lehmann stayed on the pitch, we still would have won that game.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely convinced by that, and no one will ever change my mind.
Yeah,
we were unreal in that year in the Champions League. Anyway. It was like 15,
back to life,
15
back
years
to reality. Europa League last 16.
I was 23 then. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Anyway, we never liked the Champions League. Anyway, forget that competition.
It's all about the Europa League. It's all about Thursday nights.
This is where it's at. Sure. Who wants to be watching football on a Tuesday and a Wednesday?
Oh, that Holabas is on.
Yeah.
Hey,
weren't they saying they don't want to see him play? Yeah, they were saying they don't want to see him.
Yeah.
Weren't they saying,
I think they said Holabas was the one guy. He doesn't even speak Greek or something.
Yeah.
Isn't
he Greek though? Which is quite.
Maybe he wasn't born there or something. I'm not actually too sure.
To be fair, that's like Anthony not speaking English.
Exactly. To be fair, I don't speak Irish either.
But how often do you?
He actually was born in Germany, Holabas, so that's why.
Right. Now, how often, do you ever
second half?
How often does Irish get spoken?
Come on, lads, second half. Come on.
Very, very rarely. Very rarely. Only in small sections of the country, like. This would be like kind of the hills have eyes kind of towns that you'd end up wandering into accidentally, and somebody be saying something to you in a strange language, and you'd be going, "What is this all about?"
Everyone's related.
Yeah. There's 6 people in the village, and they're all brothers.
Have you guys kicked off your first half then? Yeah.
Just now, literally.
Yeah, I'm 28 seconds in.
Yeah, you'll see Odegaard's goal in a minute. In real time, anyway.
I'll say Aubameyang's hat trick.
Yeah, we're 4-1 down now.
Hey, Matt, we'll be into the semi-finals before me and you see the full 90.
Yeah, exactly.
Between me, Souls and Fire, and celebrating winning the final, you'll still be in the semis.
They've come out with a really aggressive mindset. Yeah. Look how far out we're coming in. There's no passing it around and getting a feel of the ball. Ooh, party with a shot.
On target.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting closer.
Next shot's going in. Next shot is going in, people.
Do you know, if Partey gets a thunder strike tonight, that's just going to be brilliant for me.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see KT get another goal. You can just see what it means to him when he scores.
You love his reaction, don't you? You can feel the emotion from the telly.
Either that or he's just not used to scoring goals and he's got no idea what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Has he scored 11 or something like that, was it? Or 11 or 12?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get used to people calling him KT because over here, KT is Katie Taylor, you know, the boxer.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And every time someone mentions like KT, and like earlier, I think, was it I forget who it was. It said, "Oh, Katie looks nervous." I was like, "Katie's never nervous." Box the head off anyone.
She is phenomenal as well.
Oh, she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, she played football. She played for the Republic of Ireland women's team.
Did she?
And
Wow.
she decided she went with boxing instead. Obviously,
You prefer to beat people up.
Exactly.
Can't do that in football.
She was actually banned from football.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having her if diving creeps into the women's game? You imagine having someone like that on the team. She wouldn't be having it.
Mate, just box it up, man.
She wouldn't be having it. Yeah, no,
They'd certainly have a reason to be on the floor, wouldn't they?
It'd be like having Frank Bruno as your centre back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Did anybody actually see? Do you still follow Lorraine on any
He's
social media?
kickboxing now, isn't he?
Kickboxing,
Yeah, I saw that.
Supposedly, when he was at Arsenal, they said,
Did it then? I think he still did it to keep fit.
Yeah, he boxed, and they said that like he was actually that good that had he left football, they said he could have made a decent career in professional boxing.
He still looks in great shape, doesn't
He does, yeah. He'd still get a game at right back for us.
he? He would.
Sign him up.
He's probably, in my lifetime anyway, he's probably in the top 3 most underrated players that I've seen play for the club.
Definitely. He's my favourite right back.
Yeah, he's class.
I always put him in my best Arsenal 11 ahead of Lee Dixon.
Yeah, I can't look past Dixon, but he's not far off it.
Yeah, see, I caught more of the Lorraine era than I did.
How old are you?
34 now.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, despite the baby face.
No way.
I was going to say, I didn't think you were that old.
That's something
Don't worry, I won't ask you, Matt.
Yeah.
What's that?
I won't ask you, Matt. Don't worry, mate.
Oh, right. I'm only a year older. I'm 35, but I look older. I've got more grey hair. I look
You
about
ain't
40.
You ain't 35.
Yeah, I look about 44, but it's the grey hair, you see.
You're not 35, surely not.
Yeah.
I'm 38.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You look younger than me.
I'm 39 in May. Jesus, that's made me feel really old now. Anyway, let's get back to the football. I don't want to know how old Souls and Farah are now. I know they're both like babies, so we won't go there.
I've got the Martinelli filter on my camera, so it's fine.
Can you send it to me?
I actually look like Arsene Wenger when the camera's off.
Come on. It's starting to sit back a bit.
Yeah, this is it. You need them to.
I think the problem is we're probably going to try and soak it up a little bit now and then maybe try and get something kind of counter-attack, which could lead to a boring 20 minutes because they don't look like they've got the ability to play around us and we don't seem like we want to go forward.
A bit of a stalemate.
Yeah.
This is where you got to bring like a Pepe on just to kind of change the dynamic.
Liven it up, yeah, just do something different. I'd like to see Martinelli get 25, 30 minutes tonight.
I hope so. I mean, we've got 5 subs anyway, so even if he does get injured, we've got another 2 anyway.
And let's face it, I mean...
Bring him on for?
Oh, that's a lovely little pass there from Party.
You'd probably give Willian a rest, wouldn't you? You'd probably bring Pepe on.
Yeah, because you got the North London Derby as well coming up.
I was just about
a lot
to
of these players are going to play.
I'd like to have seen us go for try and get a second goal, and then maybe we're in a position where we can maybe start to make a couple of changes.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that game at the weekend, that's got the ability to galvanise everything, isn't it? If we get 3 points against them.
100. Oh, mate, I never want to lose to them.
I hate North London derbies. It's the worst game. I know people say it's the first game they look for when the fixtures are released, but I don't care when it is. I hate every single second of it until the final whistle blows, and if we win it, then it's different. But I'd say the worst one was the one where I think it might have been one of the last ones at White Hart Lane when Rizicki scored that thunderbolt in the first couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Mate,
that was
85 minutes of being 1-0 up against Tottenham away, and I'm like, no wonder I look 45.
There's a reason why I'm so great at 35.
Yeah, it's because we're Arsenal fans, mate.
Let's say,
What are
remember-
everyone's thoughts on the Northumberland derby? Do you reckon? Because I mean, we're both at 1-0 in the Europa League. All got strong 11s out. So
Have they got a decent lineup out?
Yeah, they've got pretty much their full lineup out.
Have they? Are they at home? Are they at home or away?
They're at home. I don't know if it's actually at home or if it's in a different stadium, but they're playing home.
Come on.
Just watch Aubameyang in the second half. There's something about him that it's not sitting right with me. Some of the runs that he's making, sitting off a little bit. Maybe I'm overthinking a little bit.
Yeah, so
So
Spurs
in
are at home.
terms of the Tottenham lineup, they've started with Lloris. Obviously, they got Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Aurier, Ben Davies, and Ndombele, Sissoko, Lamela, Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
A few players rested, but fairly strong.
You know what, lads? I would love to see Martinelli come on as a striker here, just for the intensity. Imagine him up against Socrates.
Yeah, I just don't think Aubameyang's moving.
Good ball, William. Good ball.
Yeah, he's isolating himself out of the game. I don't know why. He's so far deep right now on that left-hand side, where he should be swaying into the middle.
Why are you
maybe
in the middle of two centre-backs for no reason at all?
Oh, look at KT. KT.
Go and play it. Oh, that's a great ball.
Oh.
That's unlucky.
Go on, Sachs. Go and have a go.
Play it.
Nice. It's offside.
Oh.
Yeah, this is what I mean about Aubameyang. Get yourselves more involved into the game. Don't sit so deep. I know he likes to run in between the lines and he wants those balls fed to run in behind the defenders. But, try and create something.
Is coming on.
Yeah, Ceballos is coming on.
Okay.
I wonder who he comes on for.
I was just say, yeah. Maybe
It's not going to be Xhaka, is it? Party.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
my
see why they
word.
no.
That's a massive
You know what?
surprise.
I'm not too disheartened about that.
Maybe
It's just that he's had so many
He's a
injuries. We need him at the weekend.
I'll be honest though, he hasn't really stood out tonight though, Party.
No.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
No, I think you underrate Party's ability to dictate the tempo of the midfield because he's very good at making things look calmer than they are.
Well, that's
He's very tidy.
Yeah,
he's tidy.
Picked it up, go on. Oh, flipping heck.
He has a touch of the Gilberto Silva about him, where like he's doing a job, but you don't quite appreciate it until he's not there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is Partey is coming off.
Cheers, Matt.
No, I'm just talking to myself, but obviously realising you guys obviously already know.
At full time, we'll be coming over to Matt for the halftime score.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We'll be on the second leg. We'll ask you for a recap on the first leg, Matt. No,
You sometimes don't realise you're talking out loud, do you?
I wouldn't bother. He'd still be watching it.
So we'll all be doing a second leg preview, and Matt will still be talking about. Well, I think coming into the first game, we need to score the first goal.
I was like, still talking about Burnley. It's funny because a minute seems so long when you're behind, because it is about a minute long behind.
What are you on now?
I'm on 55:45.
Yeah, I'm on 56:30.
Yeah, so I'm just under a minute behind.
Yeah.
Even I think I'm a good 18 seconds or so behind.
Have you not got a little bar, Matt, that you can pull it forward?
No, it's literally as far as it would go. So,
is it the app that you're using?
no, it's the no, but it is actually the app. Yeah, I've got it on my laptop in front of me. But I've tried it on the web as well, because I tried logging in on the web, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, it will be. No, because the Tottenham game for me is about a minute behind than usual as well. Well, that's on the app and not on the box.
See, on my box, it is about the same. I don't think it's quite as bad.
Word, Leno, what are you doing? Oh my word! I cannot believe this. I cannot believe
No.
this. I genuinely am shocked. I genuinely can't believe what's just happened. This is unbelievable.
Again.
This is unbelievable.
Please don't.
What on earth? And this is exactly what I said. Boys. You get too comfortable with being 1-0 up. You be too comfortable passing the ball around. You think you're ahead of the game, and what happens? That's exactly what happens. And this is why you can't play from the back with a group of players who don't know how to do it effectively. This is ridiculous.
Does that?
What is that? Okay.
Does that slightly excuse Granit Xhaka last week now?
At this point, I can't even blame Granit Xhaka or Ceballos. It's the whole mentality of the squad. They don't know how to play from the back effectively enough. It's as simple as that.
Just farting around with it.
Calm, too relaxed. You're not. Oh my word!
That's two games in a row where the player picking up the ball has been put under pressure. So are we now looking at the goalkeeper here?
Listen, first things first. What's Leno doing so far up? There's no reason for him to be up outside of his box.
Yeah.
If you're going to play from the back, that first pass is always going to come from the goalkeeper, and that is always going to dictate how you play out from the back.
It's not being funny. Even before the ball was played across the guy who scored, El Arabi, Leno was still stuck on the right hand side of his box, looking at the ball rather than running to get back on his line.
Come out of his box. I have no idea. There's no reason.
But even when he was back in his box, he stood on the right-hand side or just on the 6-yard box, just ball watching rather than getting back on his line.
So fucked off seeing this every single week.
The pitch. Why on earth are these mistakes being made? The keeper should be able to see the play.
That is bad.
Listen, it's
needless again.
We don't need to wait any long before they score a second goal because now Arsenal are nervy. They've conceded a stupid goal, and look, mistakes are being made in our half unnecessarily.
And the thing is, because we make them so often, it's got to knock your confidence as a team as well. It's just double negatives.
I said it in the first half. Get the first goal. You need to get your second.
So fucked off for seeing this every single week.
It is just
It's
inexcusable. It's absolutely inexcusable.
It's like what Anthony said earlier. This is the mistakes we make are mistakes that you learn when you first start playing football when you're a kid. It's not as if you're not asking someone to do something completely drastic to change the sport. You're just doing the basics, and they can't do it.
Yeah. Just stop fart-arsing around with a ball around your own bloody box. It's stupid passes.
It's a style of play that requires a cool head.
But you know what it is, Anthony, right? Look, even if this is our style of play, there's something called common sense, right? Yeah. Everyone is born with a little bit of common sense. The play can change. Just because your manager said, look, play out at the back, doesn't mean you can't clear the fucking ball. I'm sick and tired of, these players getting excused for that piece of shit defending and this stupidity because they're saying, oh, yeah, but we're meant to play out the back. No, you use your brain.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Yeah. Absolutely spot on. Common sense prevails.
It's like, I'll tell you something. When I used to play under 7s, under 8s football, we had tactics. But you know when situations like that happen, you clear your lines. That's the first thing you get taught about football. The very first thing.
You know what the problem is right now? I think the problem is more than anything is the inability to see where the danger is. It's incompetence. Yeah. That's what it is. Because, like I said, it goes back to two things. Stubborn, arrogant football and being way too comfortable. They're way too comfortable passing the ball around thinking nothing's going to happen to them. And I'm surprised that they haven't learned their lesson considering what happened against Burnley.
Well, and against every other team this season.
Yeah.
It's every... I try not to swear, but it's every bloody week. Every week.
I'll tell you what frustrates me about stuff like this.
No other team does this.
No. When I look at players like Tierney that just do the basics very, very well, imagine how much this must frustrate him being in this side and seeing these mistakes week in, week out. Just do the basics, man. Just play to the player that's got space. And if he hasn't got space, you put it out for whatever it needs to go out for, whether it be a corner, throw in, whatever. You just get rid of it.
I've never known anything like it.
Do not play it to a player that's got players around him. I just don't understand it.
Oh, it's just
Aubameyang
so stupid again. It's
absolutely isolated himself out of the team.
stupidity.
I haven't seen Aubameyang since the first half. El Arabi's going to run down the middle.
There's no reason
Look
why
at this.
again.
You can see the second goal. What's going on?
This is another Burnley. We've absolutely got. There's no reason why we should turn this game over and win.
Arteta needs to make a sub now to change things up. Willian off, Pep or Aubameyang off, Lacazette on. Something needs to happen because we're not. It's not happening up there.
Yeah, they're going to take control of this game now.
Yeah, for at least the next 10, and then we'll come alive in about 75 to 80 minutes. We'll come alive again when we're either still 1-1 or we're 2-1 down.
Yeah, I just
This
don't
is why
get,
you need to be proactive with your changes, man.
Oh, for God's sake!
Something.
like why do we persist?
Oh, Jesus.
Why do we persist?
Gabriel.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Close him down, for God's sake!
At what point though does Arteta turn around and say, "Look, I know what way I want to play, and this is my style"? At what point do you say to yourself, "Okay, I have to be patient and understand that I don't have the guys of the caliber to play the way I want to play, so I've got to change it to suit what I've got"?
I think that's my only criticism really of Mikel is that I get it. A manager's got a philosophy, and you have to stick with it. You can't veer from that philosophy, but you have to adapt it to the players that you've got. And I think that's the one thing that I think potentially Mikel could look at and just say, like you just said, I haven't got the players to do this right now. I will have at some point, and then I'll implement it. But right now, just got to look at something different.
You play to strengths and passing out from the back.
Of course you do, yeah.
Yeah, like it's going to be the thing that'll cost him his job in the long run. You know, if he persists with it with incompetent players, it's going to cost him. So I think, look, it's in his best interests. Yeah, it's not what he wants to do long term, but look, if he's smart, he's got to realize these guys cannot do what I want them to do. I've got to try, tailor make a plan to suit what I've got.
But you know what the problem is, right? Yes, we're meant to be playing out the back and everything, but my issue actually comes from the mistakes are just a bit of common sense. It's not the playing out the back that's the problem. It's just these players lack common sense. No matter what system you put them in, it's not going to change the fact they're going to make these mistakes. They're just stupid. The players who make these mistakes week in, week out, it's like, why haven't they learned? Like, Jacques has gone and done it. Now look at it. Leno's gone and just said, you know what? I'm going to do it this week. You know what? You didn't blame me you didn't blame me for Burnley. Let me actually put the blame on myself today. It's like these players have no self-respect.
I don't even know if it's
stupid is what stupid does, mate.
Yeah,
If you're stupid, you're stupid. You can't avoid being it if that's just part of your makeup.
I think it's just these players where they suffer is the decision making.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the system we play, like I said earlier, it suits a Thomas Partey who is coolness personified on the ball. He's relaxed and he's confident in himself and his ability to get himself out of a tight situation. Guys like Xhaka, David Luiz, and as you can see, Bart Leno, they're not comfortable with the ball at their feet under pressure. And you're asking these guys, I know it was Danny Ceballos that time, they're just not comfortable in these pressure scenarios, and this is going to be the outcome until we get guys that are suited to dealing with that. We've only got one Thomas Partey, that comes deep to pick up the ball.
Oh, here we go.
He's off the pitch. Look what happens.
Should be 2-1 down.
Oh my God, fuck me.
How he's not scored that, I don't know.
But this is my gripe with it. This is my issue with some fans, right? They'll be like, oh, why did Xhaka play again? Look at that. This time Ceballos made a mistake. Now what? Should we go put El Neni in there and then El Neni makes a mistake? Then who do we put in? Go into the under nines and go get a kid? There comes a point where you just have to think, right? This squad is simply not good enough. We've got a Thomas Partey who's good enough, and that's about it. The rest of them have at least a mistake in them every single game.
I'd take Saka out of that equation, but yeah. apart from
Saka,
that-
Tierney, Partey. Yeah.
No, I
yeah,
meant in
you're
the
right, I
midfield.
didn't
Sorry,
understand.
I didn't mean every single player. I meant just like in
okay.
that midfield. Like, other than Partey, like you're not confident that other players are not going to make the same kind of mistakes.
No. And I think that's the problem. You've got mistakes in defence in David Luiz. You've got mistakes in midfield from Xhaka. I mean, how can any of the rest of the team be confident enough to knock the ball around when you're...
The spine of your team has mistakes in it left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper,
Most
central
frustrating thing-
defenders and central midfielder.
Most frustrating thing is like it'd be one thing if we were generally getting like found out in certain areas of the pitch. At least you could go, okay, you know what, our left back, our right back, whatever. They're not good enough for this level. They're getting found out week in, week out. We're doing it to ourselves. Like we're handing out goals left, right, and centre, and it seems to be every week. Like every week, you're kind of going. It's not even like look at the Odegaard goal tonight. I don't think any Olympiacos fan could turn around and say, "Well, in fairness, we could have done more." It was just an absolute screamer of a goal. You know, now every week it seems to be Arsenal fans going, "You know, that was our fault. That was our fault that goal came." Every single week.
I think that's the problem. I can accept the fact that the squad's good enough, and if we're getting beaten by teams that are simply just better than us, I can accept that. That's not a problem because I just know that we need to work on the squad to improve the quality. But when you're just getting beaten week in, week out, and losing goals week in, week out, just goals that are just so easily avoidable, it's just so frustrating.
Oh, mate, I could just see them scoring a second goal, and it's killing me right now.
It certainly looks like it's coming.
Killing me right now.
I see a comment there about how do you feel that the player who scored for you won't be playing for you next season. I guess I feel the same way about the player who gave away the goal that cost us.
Release!
You're in.
He's offside. He's offside.
No, he's not.
Go on, Odegaard, make the run in. Come on, son, make it in. Oh, fucking hell.
Bukayo, why are you shooting
Made
there?
it far. No, but no one made a run. Aubameyang, man, you're fucking pissing me off now. You so. Do you know what?
Yeah,
Get him out.
The game.
Fuck him. Go with Ozil, man. You're starting to piss me off. How many times, right, are you going to sit behind the defender? Get some room for yourself, man.
He needs to be in the centre. He needs to be right there, in between those two centre backs, receiving the ball and then making a run.
Why move, get yourself into some space. Why are you like, yeah, I'm just going to hook the centre back? You do know it's COVID. I actually want you to socially distance.
Don't be mean to Aubameyang, but you know he deserves criticism. He deserves criticism just as much as
No,
anybody
look at
else.
him, man. Where do you want to receive the? How are you going to get the ball like that? Oh, he's making a run of a 2-year-old. Even 2-year-old toddlers make better runs than him.
Yeah, look, we've been in this position for a good 3 minutes now, and unless you have a centre forward who's going to get into the good position.
Oh my god, you were fine where you were. Why?
Hit it.
Aubameyang, man. I want Aubameyang off.
Go on,
Odegaard. Go on, son.
Mate, you should have went forward.
Aubameyang, you're so poor.
Mate.
Why does this guy not make the good runs anymore? I don't understand. It's like he doesn't want to be here.
Tottenham up again. 2-0. Kane.
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal.
As we need the intensity of somebody like Martinelli right now.
Yeah.
No, do you know who we actually need? We need Lacazette. Because I guarantee you, with Lacazette playing as a false nine, you'll get them as in the box and actually trying to open up the Olympiacos defense.
I'd bring them both off. I'd take Willian off, and I'd take Aubameyang off, and I'd bring Martinelli, and I'd bring Lacazette on.
What about maybe Lacazette as your centre forward with Martinelli?
I'd have Martinelli on the wing.
What about Martinelli playing sort of like the cam role, feeding off of Lacazette's hold-up play?
Yeah. Just got to try something different.
I just
I mean,
love
he's only
that
got
intensity.
15 minutes left. I mean, what's he? There's no.
Yeah, you needed him on 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you need 5 minutes just to get up to speed with the game.
Well, quite, yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Yeah, I hate this. I remember Wenger used to be notorious for this 70-odd minute making changes, and
1-1 is not a good result to go back with.
No, it's not a good result at all because you consider now North London derby and then the second leg. How are you going to manage the team, especially with a thin? I can't make sense of it. I just can't make sense of it.
They're just quicker to us at every ball at the moment.
Yeah.
Look how good they look.
They're smelling blood.
So good.
Do you know, I said this earlier, right? And I'm going to absolutely retract this statement now because I want Aubameyang stripped of that captaincy. Because firstly, after the Burnley game, he comes out and says it is what it is after drawing to Burnley. And now what he's doing in this game, showing nothing productive, not showing any sort of leadership. Why on earth does he have that armband still?
Problem is, who do you give it to?
Give it to anyone.
Other than KT.
Just give it to him.
Yeah, then you've got the issue of...
I think at this point you have to.
In the dressing.
Look at him again. He's right on the left hand.
That's a great ball. That's a great ball. Tierney hit it. I can't. Go on, Willian, make the run. Bloody hell.
We're so lethargic, man.
hey lads, I'm going for bathroom break, so I'll be 4-1 Arsenal when I come back. Don't worry.
Fingers crossed.
Hope so, man. I hope so.
It'll have to be a long bathroom break.
Yeah, we're starting to look stuck into everything at the moment again.
It's just flat. It's flat. There's no creativity, really. They look scared, to be honest, to think out of the box. Everything needs to be safe.
Well, this is the thing. When you're making mistakes week in, week out, it's got to affect your confidence, and you must be. As soon as it happens again, your heads must drop.
Yeah, but Aubameyang's offering nothing again, man. Like, look at the way he moves.
Yeah, he's swaying offside. He's really beginning to irritate me, actually.
It's like he's isolating, like you said, Farhan, like he's isolating himself out of the game deliberately. Yeah. It looks like every time, like he's in the right place and then he moves off the game, and it's like, what are you doing?
Mm.
So, come on, Arteta, man, make a fucking change.
Did you see who was getting warmed up? Who was getting non-strict?
No, I seen
number 9. Who is it?
El Neni.
No.
Yeah, I thought it would have been him. Yeah, I thought it was him.
He was certainly looked like he was getting ready to come on.
Yeah, I seen an afro getting undressed. I was like, oh, I don't know.
He saw an afro getting undressed.
Oh.
So you have Pepe, Lacazette, Martinelli, and then you go for an El Neni.
Yeah, it is El Neni. Jesus.
Oh, mate.
Sake.
You're having me on.
Who's going to... I can only think that's Odegaard, surely.
Oh, no.
Because he ain't going to take Xhaka off.
Oh, my God. What the fuck are we doing?
Coming on then.
Lads, did I just hear El Neni?
He's a good player,
Yeah, he's coming on.
Yes.
Oh, we got 15 minutes to try and get yourself an away goal.
And you got Martinelli, Pepe,
El Neni,
Lacazette.
Do you know what the annoying thing is, right? Like, I try to back Arteta, but when he makes decisions like if El Neni does come on, it's hard to defend.
He is coming on. He's ready to come on. He's stood by the touchline.
Unless he scores an absolute belter.
Yeah, then, but you know what it is, man.
Which
it's
is
just
unlikely, though.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Come on, Oba.
Go on.
Oh.
Why is he passing it and then standing? If you're gonna pass it back, make the run.
Oh no, he's not allowed to. He's a top earner of the club now. He's just he's waiting for payday now.
Hey, let's not forget El Neni's screamer in the group stages.
against Barca. He scored a good one against Barca as well, didn't he? With his first
He
goal.
did. He did.
I mean,
He's
if he
got,
does that,
he's got a thunder strike in him, to be fair to him, but he wouldn't be your first choice.
Willian.
He wouldn't be your first choice at this point in the game.
He's just under instruction not to have a
sorry,
shot.
mate.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's having lovely. Oh, fucking hell.
We still have sub left, don't we?
It's
We've
5,
got
isn't it? You
5,
can
so
make
we've
it.
got 4.
Yeah, it's
5.
5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 5 you can make.
Oh, well, I reckon Lacazette will be the only one because Martinelli's not going to get a run out.
No.
It does
too
become
late.
hard. It becomes really hard to defend him when he does stupid things like this.
Yeah, look, the only thing I have said kind of all along, like I've defended a lot, but yeah, his in-game management is really poor. But I put that down to, look, it's inexperience and a lack of guidance. Yeah.
He's got no experience. How does he know how to
Exactly.
play the game?
But then we've got no experience, and we can see it. So
But that's what I
Fair
mean,
enough.
look,
He's who made the decisions here, though, sitting in front of the telly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that. But I mean, if you're sat there and you've got those lot on the bench, you're not going to bring out any on, are you?
Oh wait, he's got
sorry.
Smith Rowe there as well.
Smith Rowe's coming on.
Or maybe
as well.
maybe he doesn't mind taking a 1-1 draw to the Emirates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I'd well believe he's happy to leave here.
I don't think the way the team is playing. I don't think the way the team are playing, they're still trying to attack. So
and Pepe as well. Pepe's
and
coming on as
actually
well.
no. Do you know what? Okay, I'll take it back. Now I'll take it back. Yeah, I'll take it a bit back. I understand now why he's doing these.
Still 10 minutes too late though.
Oh yeah,
it's too late. The substitutions have been made too late.
So
lads, I still haven't even got Pepe on the pitch yet.
Exactly. Willian going forward at the moment.
Yes, lad.
Guys,
Get in there.
Pepe's not even on the field yet for me.
Oh,
He's not on the field for us either.
Score people.
Gabriel,
yes.
For something.
Whilst the
What's ahead of
Babylon
that
backs off, Gabriel moves forward.
Wait. What did,
That is a smashing header.
Why did the guy?
Come on, I need to catch up.
Hold on. VAR.
Yeah, it's got to be disallowed, isn't it? VAR. It's got to be disallowed.
No, don't disallow it, please. My
Oh,
heart
No,
can't
you can't disallow that.
VAR, 'cause look at
Yes.
I never.
Can't disallow that.
He's leaped above of him.
I hate VAR because you can't
It's
even celebrate
never.
properly.
That's never a foul. That is never. I don't care what way this decision goes. My stream is behind it. That's never
He's
ever a foul.
jumped up. Wait, hold on.
Never
He's made
foul.
the contact,
So-
and then
Never
he's
foul.
made the header, and then the contact is made.
Yeah, you've got to be allowed
Mate,
challenge
right.
like that. You've got to
He's
be allowed
not.
challenge.
Yeah, he's not got his arms up.
No, you
He's
have to be allowed
just running.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't header a ball without moving any body part.
No, that's not a foul.
Like, come on, if that's a foul, then this is no longer a contact sport. Like, that guy is milking
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
Like, he's acting like he got kicked in the head there. Like,
His arm.
I think they're giving it the way that Olympiacos players are reacting. It looks like he's giving it.
That's
Thing is, he's got a running jump, and you're
he's
jumping against a player that stood still. You're always going to make contact with him.
yeah.
It's only because he couldn't see.
Wait, hold on. Who's this been put?
It's just because he wasn't aware that Gabby was behind him. That's all.
Oh, the Olympiacos coach been booked. That's
I
good.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to protest, obviously. But
Typical Envia.
But the goal stands, yeah, so they're giving the goal.
it seems that way because
Thank you.
Olympiacos,
Come
especially Socrates,
One
he
more.
was getting on it.
Let's
Alright,
get one more.
Willian,
Come on.
Okay. I wonder what the.
See what I mean? How VAR ruins moments like that. Like you celebrate,
I
but
still-
you,
yeah, I
And then
Yeah.
he's chessing. Yeah.
aye. Then you look like a dick because he gets disallowed. And you've gone mental.
Hey,
Yeah,
imagine
I was
imagine how
jumping
me and Matt feel, right? You have VAR.
Yeah,
we have
exactly. Yeah.
we have VAR and you and fucking,
Yeah.
it's like having two VARs this week.
You're about 10 minutes behind now.
Yeah. We still haven't even got Pepe on the pitch yet. Like,
Yeah, we haven't either yet. Not yet.
I think he's taking Saka off. He's taking Saka off.
I don't mind
Yeah.
that. Just for Pepe, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. I don't mind the subs and who they've been made for.
Willian Frownany, okay.
Yeah.
I get it if you're wanting to give Saka a rest, that's fine. But there's 8 minutes left. I mean, Makes no odds,
Listen,
really.
right now, you boys
Don't
need to
get
score
third.
a third goal. Go for that third goal because they're going to sit back now and they're going to try and preserve what they've got. I don't think they've got it in them right now to try and nick a late goal.
I mean,
If
I
we
did
take the
say,
game, especially with the changes that we've got come on as well.
Tell you what, you don't want that.
But you
Mate.
know what though? I did say
Cheers,
that I've
Gabby.
seen this being a 2-1 kind of game.
I do have money
know.
on 2-1. I'm just gonna say.
I don't know why. I've got a feeling we're going to get another one.
I hope. I
Yeah.
really do hope so, man. I really do.
Yeah, 3-1 would be a perfect scoreline.
Smith Rowe.
Come on.
I'm calling it. You've heard it here first. Breaking news.
Mystic Dawes.
Yeah, I was just saying.
I mean, my predictions come through, so I'm all right now.
Come on, Arsenal.
Go on, touch that. Lovely. Go on.
We're looking like we're going.
That's fine. Make a move.
Ceballos in the middle. Thank you very much. Lovely.
Here we go, Smith
Oh,
Rowe.
someone
Close.
run with him. Please.
But wait. I think what's happened is they put Aubameyang down to the left and put Pepe as a striker. It seems.
Because we'd scored.
Nah,
away with
oh,
it.
lovely ball. Great ball. Pepe, get in position. Get in position. Support him. Go on.
Hector.
Go
Oh,
on.
Don't worry,
brilliant.
win it back.
Actually, very well done there. Very well
Go on,
done.
Pep. Lovely.
Go on.
Lovely. Back it. Go on. Oh, you can't. What are you doing?
Oh,
This is painful to watch with you guys.
Really
hell,
bad at the
man.
back, man.
Just a
Really don't
touch.
have to sit or
That's all you
else
need. A little
because
touch.
Everyone's like, "Whoa!" and all their hands are on their heads.
Yeah.
He's just not
Oh,
reacted, Aubameyang.
But thankfully,
Oh,
we
mate, but this is it. This has been him for the whole
It's like
second
he
half.
doesn't-
He hasn't reacted
yeah,
to
it's
anything.
like he doesn't give a shit. Oh yeah, he's gonna give the press conference. He better say, "Yeah, I had an absolute shit game."
They're on the back foot right now. If we're going to get a third goal, it's going to be in the next 5 minutes, I tell you.
Brad,
They'll
they
get
are-
it!
Come on, I want to catch that. Please tell
Oh,
me it's a
what
streamer.
a strike!
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
a
Please tell me it's a streamer.
streamer!
yeah.
Goals,
What?
put that comment
Who
up
the
on
God
screen.
who?
And then it's the goal.
Who the God who?
And then he's the goal.
I take it back out, Eddie. They done a thunder strike and you can come on and score a thunder
Oh,
strike.
3-1, right?
Soles,
Respect
Can
my manager now, people.
Soles, can we
Come
edit
on,
that bit
boys,
out
what
about
do
where
you
we didn't want
fancy?
El Neni to come on?
Yeah, that's how we
Who
don't.
do you fancy?
Here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. I'm just seeing
Right.
it. Oh, El Neni.
I did
What a
say
strike.
Lenny
Oh,
scored a
mate.
screamer in the
Hey.
group stages. I did
Oh,
say
Anthony,
it.
you called it. You called it. You called it.
Good man,
Oh, my
Eddie.
God.
Yes.
Now it looks a bit better.
Yes.
Well, that's it. Quarterfinals now. Come on.
Yes, boys.
Oh, mate. You know what? I was preparing myself to have a really, really miserable chat at the end of the game. This has turned things around beautifully.
Oh yeah, and even better now, we do have an Olympiacos fan appearing later
Yes.
as well.
Oh, do you know what? I'm absolutely loving? How these men are getting shut up right now, bro. Twitter is having a meltdown. Arteta got it right, people. Yeah, suck on that.
I better make sure that this guy is still okay to appear for.
Double check.
What I will say is, again, it's taken us to concede a goal
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
pull our finger out
Wait,
and
what's
go
up? Yeah,
again.
yeah. And even then,
Yeah.
look, I don't know who
And
said
so
it,
late
but
on again.
we've only literally performed in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they
In the
I mean,
last
they could have
15 minutes.
they could have easily scored another one. Olympiacos, that one that made you put wide. You should have buried that.
Absolutely.
Do you know what? If we can even keep it at this score, I'm not even going to ask for another goal, but because all it will take is us to score one, they'll have to score three, and that's where we can absolutely batter them.
El
Look, you know what?
Iniesta.
3-2 is still a very bad sort of nervous scoreline to take back to the Emirates. So keep it tight at the back, stay organised, hit them on a counter.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
Oh, this is
Go on.
Oh.
Lovely. Lovely.
Hector, stop it.
Yeah, but don't get too confident. Don't get too confident.
Yeah, we still lost the ball.
Yeah. Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh. Tierney will actually kill himself just to clear a ball.
That's why he should be captain.
Yeah.
Aubameyang's offered us nothing this game.
Lacazette
There you go.
now. Aubameyang's on.
Aubameyang. So maybe a fourth goal's on the cards. Who knows?
3 minutes to go or whatever.
Oh,
He has
mate.
been poor today.
They're most vulnerable right now. This is the moments where you have to take the game to them and punish them.
You know what the problem is now? El Nenny's going to end up starting alongside Xhaka for the Spurs game.
Hey, if he scores like that, I don't mind.
Yeah, 100%.
This could be the partner if we were looking for Thomas
Yeah,
Partey.
yeah.
Partey for the whole time.
But you know what the funny thing is though? El Neni and Partey against United at Old Trafford was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, do you know what? He's not a bad player. Like I always
No,
say, he's a good 6 or a 7 of a player. You know, he's always just okay.
He works very hard.
Yeah, he's
tell you what, he won't-
unbelievable. Like,
I'll tell you what he won't do though. He hasn't got a mistake in him.
yeah,
When was the last time you
he's
saw him
very
make a
simple.
mistake?
Yeah, he's a very simple player.
He doesn't
Exactly.
do anything that he knows he can't do. He wins the ball back and he gets rid of it, and that's all he does. And that's all you need to do sometimes. Every squad needs a player like that. I don't particularly. There's a lot
Look
of
at
players
that
that I
again.
would ship
Right
out
place,
before
right
I shipped
time.
him out.
No, I like El Neni. I do think obviously we need to get improvement, but him as a squad player is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And I'll tell you now that he appreciates being at the club, which goes a long way as well.
yeah.
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 Like you know the one thing is right. Like even if we're playing bad, you can expect him to give 120, 150% every game.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's hunt. Let's hunt for that fourth. Let's not be complacent.
Well, I was saying
now.
that if El Neni means scoring means he gets a start in the North London derby. Imagine if we scored 4 and you had goals from David Luiz, El Neni, Granit Xhaka.
You didn't say a bad word about him all season.
Oh my god!
What's happened to Eddie Nketiah? Where's he gone?
I don't really care at this point.
Because he was getting a lot of football at the start of the season. He's diving. I can't remember the last time he came on.
Yeah, he's not.
Go on,
been,
win.
he's not
Great
taking his
position.
opportunity.
1-2. Lovely. Oh,
That's unlucky. That's actually.
go on, Hecky B. Alex, in you come. Go on, son. Play
Go on,
it square. Oh, Pets.
Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. I'm not gonna
Listen,
slag
there's
him
still
off for
5
that
minutes of the game.
5 minutes. Flipping. What's
There's still
happening?
5 minutes of the game.
Well, what's happened at 5 minutes?
That's what you want, though. You want 5 minutes while we're playing well.
Yeah. Still
Yeah,
time
that's
to
not-
score
that's
2
true.
or concede 3.
We won't be laughing if that happens.
No.
Oh no.
Don't
I'll
be
be
I think
finishing
that's-
this off for a start. That'll be gone.
What do we do now going forward with Leno? That's 2 games in a row. Or as someone has actually said to me, there are 3 games in a row. We take the Benfica game that we've done this now. What do we do with Leno?
I think you just say to him as a keeper, just play it simple.
Problem
Don't
is
do
you
it for
can't drop him because we haven't got a better goalkeeper.
No.
Yeah,
I think
we
if
need
you want to play from the back, you let the defenders do it. It's the first line to do it, and just say to Leno.
Do you know? This is a food for thought, right? You know, we've been saying obviously we need a mobile player for Xhaka. I don't think there's a lot separating, Xhaka and El Neni as ability. Like he has got that sort of turn of pace, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd suit the system better than a Xhaka.
Well,
It's the
one
desire
Xhaka
to want to
messed
get
up
the ball, to want to play it, and to want to pass it.
Yeah.
And then he's got the desire. He's always shown it, but he just doesn't have the talent to back it up. Whereas Xhaka, on the other hand, he's got a really good left foot, but he just doesn't show enough effort in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
The one Xhaka messed up against Burnley, like we've seen El Neni finish that plenty of times. We've seen him drop back and take that and play the ball out to the right back time and time again. Like, now whether he do it the same out to the left back, I don't know.
But he does seem to be that kind of like what I've wanted to see is a bit of a mobile like.
Oh, go on,
midfielder.
Danny.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Go on. Look. Oh, mate. I'm telling you, we could score a fourth, man, if we really want to.
Yeah, it's just that cutting edge. We're just lacking that little bit of either look to drop for the player or just that little bit of a percent off our game.
They're gonna want to try and close as much time down as possible.
Yeah, 100%. Because this
I
is
tell you
not a
what I will
scoreline
say
that's
is,
good for them.
Yeah, as a kind of a positive, it doesn't look like we've exerted too much energy tonight. It doesn't look like anyone's run beyond their means. So ahead of the North London derby, I think that's obviously a good sign, because normally you can tell if Kieran Tierney's blowing out of his arse with half an hour to go, which has happened on occasion, which he doesn't seem to be doing right now. So, which is a good sign.
The only guy you'd say that about is probably Odegaard, and he's off.
Yeah. But like Anthony said earlier, he's still getting used to playing regular football. He's not. It takes a while to get back up to speed when you've played so little football.
I just messaged into the group there, so everybody all happy. I just waiting to see. This is what he got wrong. This is what we got lucky. We did this. We did.
Oh yeah.
I'm still not happy we've conceded. It's still such a shit goal to concede.
We're never going to have a perfect performance as Arsenal.
Go. Release. Go on. On the break. Go on. It's 3 against 3. Go on. Laka, go on.
They've got the numbers back in. They've got the numbers back in.
Why would you?
Why that? No, I wouldn't expect anyone to win that. Just wasn't the right type of pass.
He's shattered.
Yeah, what happened now? We're gonna win. I don't see you winning, mate.
Go on. That's it. Here we go. They're half asleep. Nice. Look at El Neni. Look at the desire. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? If El Neni Partey start on the weekend, I wouldn't even care.
Mate,
hey! I got a like for one of my things. I got respect my manager. KC liked it straight away. Do you know what, right? We always make it hard for ourselves. But you know one thing, right? I think Matt said this. Judge the players after the game. Judge the substitutions after the game. And look, every single one of them that's come on has made a positive impact. They may have not scored yet. Well, they probably won't now. But
that's what people forget. It's a 90-minute game. It's similar to like.
Lucky.
Very unlucky.
The league season is 38 games, and you have to just see it through, you know.
Well done, boys.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazing.
Look, performance aside, whatever, you can't complain about that result. 3 away goals.
No, it's a good scoreline to go back with. It's a frustrating way to lose a clean sheet, but I think we all would have taken 3-1 at the start of the game. I think anybody with any sense would have done.
Well, listen, any of you lot watched my video, I predicted a 3-1 victory, so I got it right. You heard it there.
Can we get a 10-0 at home now from yourself?
Yeah, the weekend.
If things are coming true.
No, like I say, happy with that. Not happy with losing the goal the way we did, but very, very happy with the 3-1 win.
Who are we saying for man of the match?
I'd say.
Gonna have to go for Odegaard.
Maybe Odegaard.
Yeah, I've got to go Odegaard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else that played better than him.
No.
Not at all.
I thought, Saka, I thought, started the game really well. He seemed to, after those few kicks, he seemed to go into his shell a little bit. He didn't quite seem the same player after the first 20-25 minutes. But
do you know what? We'll give credit tonight to Bellerin. I thought, usually for someone I criticise a lot, I thought he did okay tonight. I thought he did quite well.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was awful. It was just that goal that's just frustrating. I don't think anybody played particularly bad. In fact, you'd probably say, if anybody, you'd probably say Aubameyang was the one that maybe didn't show a great deal today.
Yeah, definitely.
But aside from that, I thought everyone did all right. No one really stood out massively for me. I thought, like you say, Ødegaard played well for large parts of the game.
Another assist for Willian.
Hey,
another Willian assist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for Gabriel. Yeah, I forgot he crossed it.
7 for the season now.
Do you know what it is, right? I think the one thing that Willian does really well, he's an effective player when he's on it. You know, even today when I looked at it, I don't think he did anything particularly wrong, or there was a lot that I could complain about.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what frustrates me about all the criticism that certain players get, and Willian is obviously probably the standout for this season, but I didn't necessarily have any problems with us signing him when we signed him at the start. It made sense. He was a guy that had a huge amount of Premier League experience. He's won the Premier League. I know he's on big wages, but there's no transfer fee, so that counteracts the whole wage argument and why put him on such big wages. But it made sense to me at the time. The one thing we lack in that squad is experience. So when you bring someone in, that's what he adds. And for me, listen, there's always risk with transfers. Some work, some don't. You just move on from it if that's the case. But the way he's been criticised is just shocking. And I know he's probably been picked when maybe you probably would say he's not justified to be starting, and I get that argument absolutely. But as a signing, I had no issues with it at the time, and now it's just one of those that you think, all right, well, he's done all right now in the last few games, but it's just one of those that hasn't worked. He's a free transfer, you move on, don't you? It's just as simple as that, really.
No, he's coming good. He's coming good. Like I say, at the beginning, I wasn't too sure personally about it. I thought I could see the experience side of the deal.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. I wasn't really enamoured by it. I wasn't like, oh, brilliant.
No, I mean, it didn't get me off the edge of my seat knowing that we'd signed William, but it was just one of those that, looking at the situation that we were in financially and everything, and the fact that we still had so many players to get rid of at that point in time, it made sense to try and bring in free transfers or loan players. That was really, and that is probably my fear going into the summer window, is that again might be our only option in terms of looking at players that are maybe out on a free transfer or maybe getting in loans, because I just don't see us having
I mean, League One is on an absolute low in terms of the market. Like, we could probably go in for like in a while for a very good price. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the player we need.
55, wasn't it? They're saying now 55 million. They're saying now. I read the other day.
Yeah, which is very affordable.
Really? What, for us? Not for us. It isn't. For us to go and spend £55 million on one player.
Oh wait, 50? Oh, 55. I thought you said 35. Sorry.
No, I would be surprised if we spent 55 on 3 or 4 players. If I'm being honest, let alone one.
Yeah. No, I misheard that.
Yeah. I
mean, what we'll do is we'll wrap it up, and then obviously we can always talk off stream anyway.
Sweet.
And obviously, final thoughts for everyone. Obviously, I'll start off with Matt. Like, how did you think the game went? Yeah, we don't need to drink tonight, lads.
Yeah, we don't need to drown our sorrows. No, do you know what? You've got to look at the overall picture, haven't you? And I think getting a 3-1 win tonight is exactly what we needed. Like you say, I think we started brightly. Obviously, you conceded a silly goal again, but we went out there and grabbed a couple of goals late on and put it away. So, yeah, very, very pleased. Feel better going into that second leg now.
Yeah.
And I can sleep a bit easier tonight.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Darcy? How's the game gone for you?
Exactly how I expected it to go. We started quick. We got a goal, made a stupid mistake, woke us up, got a couple more goals. It's exactly what we kind of come to expect from an Arsenal performance. But yeah, like Matt just said, I think any of us would have taken that result certainly at the start of the game. So it's just obviously the manner that we conceded the goal again is obviously frustrating. But yeah, nevertheless, it's a great result to take back to the Emirates.
Yeah, what about yourself, Anthony? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Okay, so like I said before the game, don't judge the team until we've kicked the ball. Yeah. Okay. Look, Arsenal have all the ability to beat these teams on paper, and as we saw again tonight, we're our own worst enemies. So look, week in, week out, it doesn't always necessarily make a difference who we have on that team. I think it's about the attitude we show up with and whether we keep ourselves switched on or not. You know, no matter who you had in that starting lineup tonight, I felt the same way. No disrespect to Olympiacos, but I felt that we had the beating of them if we kept the right attitude. Now, we started with the right attitude and we had the beating of them. Now, as soon as the switch kind of flipped and we took our foot off the gas and we decided, you know what, we're not Arsenal for the next couple of minutes. We're going to be Man City. We're going to take the foot off the gas. We take a breather. That's when we get cut out because we're very much not Man City. Now, this is the difference. We need to this needs to be drilled into the players. And I don't know who's going to be responsible for this, whether it's going to be Arteta, his coaching team, whoever, whether it's going to be your leaders in the dressing room, Tierney, Xhaka, David Luiz, whoever you want to name. Somebody needs to take control and say to these guys, look, 90 minutes. You're playing for 90 minutes. We don't play for 45 minutes. We don't play for 60 minutes. You're switched on. You're clued in 90 minutes. That's our biggest downfall. We just haven't mastered that at the moment. If we can do that, who knows what we can achieve. But yeah, look, in terms of performance, I'm not blown away by the performance, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting to be. But I can't criticize. Like, it's a good result. It's 3 goals away from home, 3 away goals. We pulled on Arsenal. We tried our best to allow Olympiacos back into the game. But look, we just had that little bit of extra quality that pulled us through. Now, I do worry we cannot afford to do that as we progress. Hopefully, if we do progress into the latter stages, the teams are getting better and better. We're going to get found out an awful lot easier. We got a lucky escape against Benfica. We clearly haven't learned our lesson. We've done the exact same here against Olympiacos. This has to be a lesson to the guys. Arteta, you know, they have to sit back and say, look, we need to cut out this being casual, you know.
Yeah.
Play your game, take the lead, and then go for the kill. Do not sit back and conserve energy and chill. We're not that good, you know. So look, I'm happy tonight though. Again, I'm happy to see the character. I'm happy. Okay, we faced a bit of adversity, self-inflicted, but we showed the character. We stepped up a gear and we showed, put the foot in the gas, we're capable of it. So all in all, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll go to our resident therapist, Farhan. What are your thoughts?
No therapy needed tonight, boys. My voice is gone from screaming at the television. I can't believe what we've witnessed. It looked all well to be a typical Arsenal performance followed by a typical Arsenal result. I genuinely thought that they were going to nick something in the end, but the substitutions paid off. The desire from Gabriel to get that header, incredible heart and desire. And again, it just shows that Arteta's plan is working, because this is another player that's been brought in by Arteta, Tierney, another one that shows heart and passion. The mistakes that were made, most of us were mentioning it, are mistakes that are being made by the same players over and over again. And unless we get the right personnel in, we're not going to be able to see the Arsenal side that we have had glimpses of. But it's a really positive result in the grand scheme of things. Putting the performance aside, this is the result which is going to help us a lot to plan for the Spurs game and to plan for the second leg as well. Not to mention, we've got West Ham and then Liverpool after that. And then hopefully, all things going well at the Emirates, we've got a quarterfinal to look forward to as well. Chucked the bits of the victory. That's the most important thing I think we can focus on tonight. And I think discussing and paying too much attention to the mistakes is something that I'm going to distance myself from tonight. I'm going to enjoy the moment and then regroup tomorrow. Looking forward to the North London derby.
100%. And guess what, my guys? Like, Twitter has been, you know what? The people have been found out. Yeah. Now you're going to doubt the manager again because he brought those players on. And guess what? Mohamed El Neni, the one you've been criticizing, went and got that third goal, people. Yeah. trust this manager, because even with the shit he has, he's still producing results, right? So that's all I'm going to say before I get carried away and, potentially a lot more comes out. But you know what? I'm so happy to go on Twitter and see, oh, why is he bringing out Nuno? We need a goal. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? But guess what, mate? He's the same guy who got us that third goal and potentially win us the tie. So you know what? You have to sometimes just trust the process. And I know I don't like using the word the process, but sometimes you have to just ride the storm before you get to the sun, because that is what we're doing. This is the storm before the calm. It's going to get better, because I do feel like Arteta gets it right more than he gets it wrong. And sometimes your favourite players are not the answer. Just because we want to see a Martinelli come on doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to have someone like an Al Neni come on, or a Willian come on, or potentially a Pepe come on, or someone like a Dani Ceballos come on, because that can be the right thing for the moment. But that has been our first watch along. If there are any feedback you'd like to give, there's many more to come on different people's channels. It's going to be like a pep roulette. We don't know which week, what channel it's going to be on. So subscribe to every single one of them, and you'll definitely know which one it's coming on. And obviously subscribe anyways, regardless of the reason. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just go and do it. And everyone's is in the description. All their links and podcasts and everything that they do everything's in the description below. So give some love, show some support, people. And this is the end of the broadcast.